What's that target again?
69.82. There's a naked point of control here. Let me put this on the 30-minute chart there. So the naked point of control from the 24th that has not been rechecked in regular trading hours. That's at 670.69. Then there's the base of the late spike that kind of topped off activity here on the 24th. Again, that's I think Tuesday, was it Tuesday? Monday? Whatever. I think it was Monday. So Monday, Tuesday.
Order
Okay,
filled.
so that was Monday. It looked above it in the overnight session, got a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern there. The market opened below the late spike, below the range from Monday. Had a just kind of a range here. I think we took a couple of trades in this little range here, and they did. I don't think that they worked out, but once we broke last week's low, holding below that late spike base, was Katie bar the door to the downside. We had some overnight inventory to the long side coming in today. We had a poor high, which I didn't really get to touch on yesterday. So we had an excess low and a poor high. Market buyers came in. We opened with a gap. I think we never closed the gap. Opening range, the low of the session. That's a gap and go. Not a huge opportunity for a continuation or a move to the upside, but it ain't over yet. We still got some time in this day, and this is looking pretty grim here. That's a pretty long shadow or wick on the top of that candle. So, GD, I'm perfectly happy with the way we handled that trade in crude oil this morning. We did 2 lot on. We took some off at $250, 25 ticks of risk. That was our risk on the original trade. And we got out at an important level. Last week's low was that level. We looked at it. We were going to move the stop. We moved the stop up, and we just kind of looked at that and said, let's take that. Let's just take that.
Yep.
I think we probably would have been stopped out. I think it was 90 was our stop level.
We did move up to 90. Yeah, that's correct.
So we would have gotten stopped out anyways.
We would have gotten stopped.
So I think we did the right thing there. Perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, no complaints here either. It was a close to a $700 winning trade there. So almost 4 to 1 R. You look at it in terms of points or ticks instead of dollar value. So yeah, very decent trade in crude oil this morning. Gold's making some moves right now. Regular trading hours in gold end in about 34 minutes. 12:30 a.m. Central Time is when they establish settlement price in the gold contract or the gold market. That was a difficult opening range trade. It was it was a long signal, and man, did that market want to sell off real bad while we were long. Yeah. That's what kind of put us. That's the trade that put us behind the 8 ball to start the day. We were down $600 in gold to start.
Yeah.
I said we made six. I said we made 600 on that.
And he said a 5-minute opening range would have been the dead ass high.
Oh yeah, how about that? I wonder if the 5-minute might be the way to go. I know Coach Jay likes the 3-minute. 3-minute doesn't give us too many different signals. It would not have today. 3-minute opening range was still a long signal. Actually, I was looking at 5-minute chart. Let me look at the 1-minute chart again.
Starting to look like a buy again here. Wasn't just about the close.
So yeah, a 3-minute opening range. Would that have given us a buy signal? It would not have.
Here, I can check here.
Looking at it right now. It would have been a double top at the high of the day. So a 3-minute opening range in gold would have been a good trade. It would have came back and we would have taken some heat on it, but if we didn't touch it, we would have had a nice return. Looking at a 3-minute as opposed to a 1-minute. I bet the 5-minute, yeah, I assume the 5-minute worked exactly the same as the 3-minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that that's correct.
Mhm.
And it still had to come up and take out that high just barely at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Had to take out that
Mhm.
high. Left a
But
little
maybe we'll
filled up by the there and then tanked.
maybe we yeah, maybe we'll talk about, expanding that opening range a couple of minutes. The 1 minute, when it hits great, but when it doesn't hit, it's real frustrating because it comes and tags out the
Yeah,
opposite end of the, opening range
yeah.
and then makes the move without you. So,
Well, we say, I
it's a
mean,
little
it's a low
aggravating.
probability trade, but when it
Mhm.
goes, it can be, it can be highly profitable.
Very true, very true. Oh, hey, Hogue, you know what? We gotta get out of here. We're bringing,
Yeah.
we got Lunchbox Trading coming up next. Deanna, head coach of the Chameleonaires Top Step VIP experience, is coming in. We're gonna talk for about a half hour. And then we're going to bring Jack and Mick in to roast and toast a couple of live funded traders. Make sure you stick around with that. For that, I should say. All right, my man, Hogue, thanks for joining me for this recap. We're going to take a short break,
I'll,
folks, but we will be right back with plenty more tradertainment. All right, Top Step
I'll see
TV.
everybody at
Let's
1
go.
o'clock for Jim Dalton,
Jim
master
Dalton.
of market generation.
It's Rex Manning Day here at Top Step, folks. We got all the All Stars coming out. All right, we'll catch you in just a couple minutes. We're going to take.
They have the music.
Order filled.
Five. Half of micro, whatever. But got something for you, just if you didn't know. Buenos días, buenas tardes, feliz jueves, ¿cómo está Mr. Alex? Do I play better with an account that is practice? You be the judge. Live account 800 negative. Practice account going to 800 plus. Put that picture too. Oh, I was going to do something here. So about to hit my target. So let's see if we get a little bit further out and we'll do 3 here. 3 somewhere about here.
Order filled.
There we go. There we go. That right there, that's what we're talking about. The what? The 12 o'clock or lunch break.
Order filled.
There we go. 720 here minus 777 over here. Why? Why do I do that? Top Step TV, what do they have on hand? Diana, okay.
I'm kind of planning to wind it down for the month, so I probably won't be trading much tomorrow anyway. I do apologize. One of my dogs is just walking around the office like a lunatic, and he's deaf, so I can't. Come on, off you go.
We're not here to punish deaf pets.
No, I'm not punishing him.
No
I'm just
shaming
trying
deaf pets.
to touch him to settle because he's like clicking with his nails. Yeah, it's going well. I'm kind of doing some preparations for moving the house as well because we managed to sell this one, so we're trying to move out to the countryside. So obviously a lot of things need to be done, and yeah, but very quiet day for me. Didn't really do much trading. I did some DAX trading in my private account. Obviously, we still don't have that on TopStep, which is a shame because it's such a good product. But someday. I remain hopeful.
We're working on it.
And in the meantime, yeah, I know you are. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Just stay patient. Yeah, in the meantime, I've been chatting to the VIP group every day. We've been meeting about twice a week. We do have about half of the people that are pretty active in there and taking on board everything that I'm trying to preach. And then we obviously are always going to have people who are in there for the free combine and free resets, and that's okay. But yeah, so I think it's going pretty well so far. It's still early days. We're coming up to the first month. Some people, I think there was some resets in the beginning. And then since I said, please don't rely on a reset as a crutch, I think people have taken that on board as well. And things have kind of settled into some consistency. So I'm seeing really good progress from everybody.
Very good. Yeah, we've talked quite a bit about those traders that came in just looking for a quick, easy scalp in this program. Each team, with the exception of Coach Ray's Mindset Hunters, lost a trader in the very first week of the VIP program or experience, meaning that they rushed to the trading combine, got to the funded level, and just blew it within the first couple of days of the program. Didn't take advantage of anything else that the program had to offer. Just kind of gave it the old, I got a free reset and burned right through it kind of thing. Which was unfortunate. So we've already roasted those traders. I think we can move on from them for sure. But looking at some of your team stats, looking pretty solid so far. You're sitting on a 4.5% pass rate, but you are still on the lowest. Your team has the second lowest number of resets so far. Only 84 total team resets. Trading combine resets, that is. And 4 traders have passed through the combine to get into the XFA. You did drop that one trader, so that means 3 traders have not yet begun to exercise their right to trade in the XFA. Is still sitting on it, waiting for that right time, which is fine. There's no problem with that at all.
There is a reason for that, because I did actually advise them not to rush into it, because obviously we don't want people blowing out. I know exactly who you're talking about, because that person who blew out of the XFA, it happened literally in the first week. And as soon as I saw him say, or they, I don't know whether it's she or he, but basically they said, I passed. And it was like the first week, I think it was like a Wednesday or something. And I'm like, we haven't even started. Like, what's going on? And lo and behold, they blew out probably in the next couple of days. Like it's sad to see, because presumably the VIP program is there to stop people from doing that, right? So you've done it your way. You've gone into the XFA. You've probably paid for quite a few combines, and you've tried it your way. It hasn't worked. So, I always say, let's try it my way. Just like slow down. Let's see what happens. Like, well, where's the rush? And I urged everybody to size down, slow down. And I always say it's great to see some of the psychological epiphanies that people are having. They're keeping track of their mental triggers. We talk about all of this. I have some pretty structured lectures that I'm carrying over from something that I do in my private coaching as well. And a lot of people are responding to that, because at the end of the day, trading is all a mental game. It's not all about the levels. Yes, levels are important, but when a level doesn't work out, the real distinction between a good trader and a not so good trader is how do you behave after that? Do you go revenge trading? Do you get angry? Do you get sad? Does your ego get a hit? All of that is just the mental side. It really has nothing to do with the level, does it? So I'm just trying to make everybody a lot more aware of what happens to us when the trade doesn't work out, and how you can improve, how you can use introspection to keep in touch with some of the mental triggers. And some people never do that, and they carry on for years doing the same thing over and over, not changing anything, and yet magically expecting that somehow everything's going to work out. It's like, I wish that was the way it works, right? But it isn't. It's a huge self-discovery journey. So if you don't heed what all of us coaches are preaching, whoever is a coach, we all talk about the same thing: process over profit, size down, slow down. It's nothing new, but it's also some techniques and actionable tips that I've been giving my traders, and some books that are not even trading related, that have been helpful in order to make them understand what it is that they're doing there. A lot of people don't blink an eye and lose like the whole maximum loss limit in one day. So I asked them, if you go out to, go on a shopping spree, would you just like spend $3,000 out of, without a second thought? Most people will say, oh, hell no, it's a lot of money, right? And yet somehow people think that it's okay to do that. Combine, XFA, funded account. So, when you put those things in perspective, suddenly things start to make a lot more sense. You're like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then obviously I have some of my humorous ways of calling people certain names. So it's like, you're either having a Muppet day, or you're being a grasshopper if you're over trading, things like that. And I think that resonates quite well with everyone. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that you have a specific lesson plan. You're coming in with a syllabus. And do you ever get into the technical side of trading? Are you talking about indicators or anything like that? Or are you really just
I talked a little bit because I know that, yeah. So, I'm kind of putting faith in people who are in the program, that they already know what they're doing. So I don't really want to change their way of trading. No, they're not there to learn the market stalkers method, right? They're there to learn how to develop consistency, how to develop sustainability, so they can carry whatever I'm teaching from the VIP program into any future funded accounts. I'm not really even that concerned who ends up first and stuff. All of the coaches are very supportive towards each other. It's nice. Yeah, it's great. It's a competition. But at the same time, I have the highest of respect to everybody who is a coach. It's, we're all giving it our all. And if we get a little bit passionate when we're kind of throwing chairs around and people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's because we care. I don't like people just blowing up for no reason and then not sorting out their little trading gremlins, and then doing the same mistakes over and over. So I frequently say, if you change nothing, nothing changes. And, it's very true for anything, but trading in particular. But unfortunately, we have self-limiting beliefs that are coming from when we were toddlers. It's not even from when you're an adult, right? It's something that got into your head when you were really, really young. And now you're kind of battling that, and it all comes out when you start trading. So if you're unaware of that and you're just kind of letting it run your trading, there's no levels at that point. All you're seeing is just red. You're seeing anger, you're seeing frustration, and we can't trade from the position of fear and doubt. So I'm trying to make everybody more aware of their mental triggers, which will be different for everyone. And levels, I've talked about my average ranges because people are interested in that. They're very reactive. They're a statistical measure. So I did go over that in one of the lectures. I know that some people use volume profile, and they have expressed a desire for me to talk about market profile. We have Jim Dalton coming on just in less than an hour. So, it's a tool that I've used to great success to kind of see what's happening. But again, it's not magic. If you're not objective with what you're seeing, nothing's going to help you, right? You're just going to let the limbic system take over your trading, and then there's no levels. There's nothing. There's just a fight for survival. Oh my God. And you don't want to be in that state, like, ever.
Well, we've got a couple traders from on the Chameleonaires that we are prepared to talk about right now. We've got a good trader to highlight, another trader that's in a bit of a dilemma, something we mentioned with Andre's team yesterday. Gabe in the back, can we pull up that trading card for there he is, Kevin J. So
Yes.
exact same scenario that we talked about yesterday with Andre, and we'll burn through this real quick. I just kind of want to get your perspective on it. So
Yeah.
this trader did the same thing as the trader that we talked about yesterday. Ran up one big day. He's got the account balance to get into the XFA, but he hasn't met the consistency target yet. So he's got to make an additional $5,000 in this account to pass the trading combine to get into the XFA. Does that shift mindset at all? Knowing that you hit your profit target, but you're stuck making more, having to make more because you had one big day. Who knows why the big day was so big? Was he not paying
Yeah,
attention?
I know.
Get out of the
Yeah.
trading time. There's 1,000
I'm
different
always a bit,
reasons why it
yeah,
could have happened.
yeah, I'm always a bit skeptical when I see that because it's like, did you not read the rules? Like, what's going on here? Nobody's going to reward you for going over this consistency target in an eval. Okay, so I don't personally like seeing that because it's like this is one of the things that I would call a Muppet moment. It's like, oh, brilliant, yes, you've made money, but what did you make money on? Nothing, like a sim account, slow clap. So I'm not going to be impressed with that, right? I'm actually going to probably throw a chair or two when I see that. Like, why? Why do you make your job even more difficult? Well done on having a big day, but let's reserve that maybe for an XFA down the line, maybe like month 3. I would be happy to see something like that. But going into like I don't know whether he was doing loads of trades and he just kept going, doesn't know the rules. But yeah, I'm not going to be impressed with that. So. Yeah, not very happy, but good for him. But not the way to do things.
Looking at the trade report, it doesn't look like he did anything much different than his other trading days. Made total of 7 trades, 28 contracts. So trading very small in the in gold and the NASDAQ. So just I don't know if he just hit a home run by accident, but there is some strategy involved to getting through the trading combine. You have to be aware of the consistency rule.
There's always a trading strategy. There's always a trading strategy. Nobody who's been here for like even 6 months, we all know the rules, right? So I don't understand. Like, did he maybe think the competition is just to make as much money in a combine? Was that because I've seen this a couple of times now, not just in my team, but in other teams as well. So maybe that's it. Do they think, we're gonna hand out some plastic trophies or something if you hit the biggest P&L in a combine? It's like, I would really like to know why. I'm quite intrigued. But at the same time, all he's done is just created a hell of a lot of job for himself. And, while everybody else is slowly inching towards the targets, he now has to work extra hard. And I can't imagine that that's good for your mental side of things, right? How does that affect you on a psychological side? It's not going to be good. It's like, well, you expected to make $6,000. Now you made $7,000 in one day. And now you have to make another, 6, 7. It's like, why?
Another 5, yeah. Doubling your profit target.
Yeah. So just extra work for not
I think
much reward.
I think you nailed it though. Yeah. Why would you make your life harder like that? So this is a lesson for everybody out there trading in the trading combine. We know how exciting it is to hit a dinger, to hit that home run, but be aware of the rules of the program. Don't make it any harder.
Save it for an XFA in the future, and I also don't want to see people doing that on the first day of combine, because we all know how that ends. You make $7,000 in one day. I had somebody on the London stream saying that they got into an XFA, passed in 2 days, got into an XFA, made $7,000 on the first day. The next day they hit the maximum loss limit. And they're like, help. And I'm like, size down. It's like, what's the rush? So that's what I've been preaching all throughout. And like I said, out of the 50 people who started the program, we have 25 who are pretty active in the Discord chat. They are there at every session, or they rewatch the lecture after the fact. And from the ones that are posting their stats, that are really trying to change things, I have someone who committed to trading 1 micro in the first month. So obviously he's not going to have the highest P&L, but throughout that process, he's actually sorted out some of his little gremlins, and again, came up with a couple of epiphanies. It's like, wow, I get it now. And I think that should be the goal. I really want to see the stat of how long a trader spends in a combine versus how long they spend in an XFA. I think that's the most important stat you can ever have, because that's the only thing that will ensure longevity, time. right? Nothing else matters. P&L comes later once you prove your competence and once you can prove to yourself really that you can trade one micro. I also say to people who are trading with small sizes, somebody today said, oh, I aim for $100 a day, but I've been only trading one micro. And I'm like, that's 200 ticks a day. It's a monstrous day. It's like, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, I never thought about it that way. And yet, because of the small P&L, they're kind of almost putting themselves down. So I said to the person, I said, just think about it in ticks. Everything's ticks. Whether you're trading one micro or 100 minis, it doesn't matter. It's all ticks. So when you put it in that perspective, I'm not going to be impressed when somebody does 3 or 5 NQs and they're like, oh, I made $1,000. Well, that's good. Or, worst case scenarios, they lose, or they make like 100 or 200. It's like, that's so much risk to make a tiny bit of cash. So who's better? The guy that's doing one micro at averaging like $100 a day, or the guy who's sort of doing 3 to 5 NQ minis, up, down, up, down, up, down. Like there's actually a good saying that Australians like to have, but it's not particularly PG. So I probably shouldn't say it. It's one of my trader friends who, yeah. So up in the P&L, up and down like the horse drawers.
That's all right.
Naughty, but Australians are Australians. It's not too bad. So yeah, and that's a perfect example of how your P&L shouldn't look. It's okay to have controlled losses, nothing to be ashamed about. Everybody has a red day here and there, but as long as it's controlled, it's fine. It's normal. It's normal. This is an industry where you have to be a good loser. You have to accept your losses. And in fact, I don't even like calling them losses. I like to call them expense days. So that helps with the mindset as well. So yeah,
nice.
I think everybody's doing pretty well. A whole month of no particular disasters. I think we have another person who's just battling some of their own trading gremlins still. But I see that they're trying to work on themselves. So, full props. It's very difficult.
Cool. Yeah, that's a great exercise, the single micro. I know my dad challenged his team. My father, Coach Jack of the Bull Brigade, challenged his entire team for the entire month of March, starting next week, to trade just one single micro for the entire month. That's it. And then track your progress, see how you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's boring, but you're going to learn a lot about your trading doing it. And that's kind of what this entire VIP experience is for. Yeah.
Yeah, change it to ticks. Looks the same, right? Yeah. So JD, let me ask you a question. You were in the pits, right? Did anyone actually talk in dollar amounts, or did they talk about?
It was
ticks?
always ticks.
Well, there you go.
Always ticks.
Yeah.
Always ticks.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
No one ever. Well, of course, people did, but anybody that came up bragging about making 20 grand in a day usually came back the next day and did not have a very good day.
Yeah.
But casually sitting around after work at the bar saying, I saw you grab that 10 lot. How'd you do? I made a couple ticks on it. That kind of thing. Very acceptable.
Yeah. Exactly. Much better.
We got one more trader to highlight on the opposite end of the curve. Here is a trader making all the right moves. We got a trade report for our guy, Dr. Fib, up here on the Chameleonaires. Kind of a last minute thing, so I just took a screenshot and sent it over. But after 17 days in this trading combine, 17 days in the trading combine, trading the S&P, the E-mini S&P, not the micro,
and
just
the winning
the mini.
day. Yeah, and the winning
100% winning days, averaging about $287 a day. Total profit right now of $4,893, $1,000 away from hitting that. Well, $1,100 away from hitting that profit target. This guy is making all the right moves. Obviously, he's listening to what you're coaching him on, and he's keeping the math on his side. 72% winning trade percentage. His risk reward is a little inverted, but it doesn't matter.
But he's a scalper. He's a scalper, and with the high percentage, that actually works out fine. Everybody has a different style. Yeah, everybody has a different style. Now, one thing to note about slightly negative risk reward is that if your percentage goes below 56%, that's where the trouble starts. So I usually use 35% for my students because we preach 2-to-1 risk reward. But let's say for Dr. Fabe, I would say if you start to bleed accuracy down below 60%, it's time to kind of switch gears. Until then, just keep doing what you're doing. He's been very active, amazing, very introspective. He's there in the chat. He's listening to everything. So very, very pleased to see that.
Very cool. I'm trying to pull up. Give me 1 second. Has not reset this account yet.
Yeah.
0 resets.
I know, right?
Just taking it slow and steady. So
Yeah.
big shout out to this trader. All right, Deanna, we got just a couple of minutes left. What's up on the syllabus for next week? What's the lesson plan looking like for the chameleon?
Yeah, so for this Friday, I'm actually going to have Coach Hoop join me for the Friday roundup, which is going to be 7:30 a.m. Tomorrow. And I think we're probably going to do a bit of a Q&A, maybe shout at a couple of people, but, we'll see. And just going to talk through how the VIP program is doing, what are some of the common goals. And, Hoop and I talk nearly every single day, so it's going to be very nice to have him on. So, yeah, for tomorrow, it's going to be a little more unstructured, obviously, because I'm going to have a guest. And then next week, I'm going to be drilling people into how to behave in a new XFA. We already went through some points of how to manage a drawdown, but then next week I might mix in a bit of technicals too, because again, people have been asking me. The focus is going to remain on how to manage the bankroll, how to make sure you don't blow out of an XFA, and basically how to manage your future funded account. So that's going to be month 2. And just repeating some of the stuff that I've been repeating. I find that the more you repeat to people the same thing over and over, it's like D the parrot, right? Size down, do weightlifting, keep track of your mental triggers, D, Polly wants a cracker sort of moment. But yeah, so it's going to be more of the same, just kind of being almost like their risk manager and try to keep everybody on the right path. If there's some wayward sheep, we're going to try and herd them back onto the right path. And yeah, just being there for them spiritually and technically as well. If they're struggling with anything, we can have a look at the report. I can give them some actionable tips on how to tackle their particular issue. Everybody's going to have a different issue. Everyone is at the different point of their journey. And I am very aware of that as a coach. I've been coaching people for 7 years. So I've seen my share of different problems. I've seen overtraders, undertraders, people who have problems with fear, people who have problems with frustration, anger, ego. And I usually find a way to tackle that. And then I turn them into more professional standard traders. And a lot of them are actually in TopStep, bizarrely. So, I've been sending people to TopStep for years now. And, we've had... God, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of traders that I've coached myself, and then thousands that have gone through my program. So all of that experience that I have over there, I'm bringing into the VIP side, and just kind of taking them week by week, mainly making sure that their mental capital doesn't get exhausted on the journey, because you can get into this state of, I just want to get funded. And that's where the problem starts, because you're then chasing a goal. You're losing love for the process. And, presumably we're all here because we love trading, right? Not because we love getting funded. Getting funded is a side effect of good trading, right? So just try to keep them on the right track. That's going to be month 2. Trying to get them over the hump into an XFA. And then just trying to get them to stay in the XFA for month 3 as long as possible. So we'll see what happens. But so far, good job, everyone. D is very pleased.
You heard it. Yeah. D has coached thousands of traders from evaluation to payout. So definitely knows what she's talking about. Deanna, head coach of the Chameleonaires, host of the London Open here on TopStep TV. Thanks for joining us. Always appreciate your time. Appreciate your insights. And have a great weekend if we don't see you tomorrow. All right.
JD. You too. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to bring Jack in here in just a second. I think Mick is getting ready in the background also. We can talk about the markets for just a second. We got this gold contract up. Let's take a look. Gold is officially closed for the day. Not officially closed. Settlement has been established for gold. Settlement price is established for gold at 12:30 p.m. Central Time, 12:30 p.m. Chicago time. It will continue to trade for a couple more hours, but settlement has been established. Let's take a look at the equities, see where we're at. Here is a 3-minute chart of the E-mini S&P 500. We're still bouncing around in this sort of range right now. We're up here at 59.79, 59.70 in the orders is settlement price from yesterday. 59.73 is yesterday's value area low. We've kind of been drifting between that 59.45, which is yesterday's
Order
low,
filled.
and value area low, just bouncing around there for the last couple of hours. We also have that weekly kickoff there at 59.50. It's been holding as a decent floor since this last test down here.
And 10.
At about 11:15. All right, checking in on the NQ.
17, and we are at
That NASCrack.
a little while.
The NASCrack. There's Jack. What's up, my man?
Hey, yeah, I was just going to say the NASDAQ, we're looking a little bit like the trade Dakota took the other day, where I'm looking at a 15-minute chart right now, and we had the initial big V-shape test down, super wiki. Then we did it again, but didn't get quite as far down. So could be bullish. And we're seeing some green candles here. Bullish.
Yeah, let's take a look at the 30-minute actually.
Wow.
Yeah, nice flagging pattern. This could be a nice breakout coming soon. Let me draw this in for you.
I knew my mic was hot, by the way, guys.
34.
Somebody think your mic, you didn't know your mic was hot?
No, it's the NASCrack, man.
34, right there.
So yeah, looking at this 15-minute chart, we can even look at this at a 5-minute time frame. We've got a nice flagging pattern here in the NQ. We could break out to either side, but it's looking like we could possibly be making a move to the upside. We're approaching that upper channel line as we speak. We'll keep an eye on this the next few minutes. Whenever you're ready to bring Mick in, just hit that doorbell, and we'll switch it over. There they are.
Russell the Love Muscle.
Hot mic. Hot mic.
How's that?
You said NASCrack. I said Russell the Love Muscle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's too bad S&P 500 doesn't really sound good with anything. The Standard and Poor's.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the SPOOs. Mick, how are you doing?
Hey, not bad. How you doing? Good to be on. I see JD laughing in the background. He's having fun with this.
We're doing good. JD, I have a story about, you were talking about like the TIX dollars that we may get to at some point during this, the shoulder tap. But we're going to talk about how our traders are doing today. It's been a wild day that has ended up basically nowhere. Right now, the ES is just 3 points away from its settlement, but it took a big detour in between. Mick, how did our traders do?
Unchanged on the day, basically up 0.04% on the SPOOs. It's a mixed bag, like it is, just about every day. But that chop definitely has, the majority of our traders in the red today. For those of, we're down a little bit today. I'll put it that way. I got a lot of daily loss limits on the bigger accounts with the $3,000 daily loss limits, which is, something that I'm just kind of familiar with seeing on these days where we have the drops. Overnight session, we were a little bit higher, and we flush to the downside, then bounce back up, and it's those market gyrations, the price bar overlap, where people tend to get hurt. We were talking about it just recently, or I say it a lot. I think the traders make money catching a piece of the trend for the day, and when you've got upside price action, downside price action, then back, and you're trading around settlement, people get chopped up.
Yeah, there were definitely opportunities to get blown up from each side. But yes, here we are. And we have, by the way, we're going to end this a little bit early today to get set up because we got Dalton coming on next with Hogue. That's big news.
Nice.
Mick, you know of the man.
Mr. Jimmy Dalton. Yes, I do. It's going to be a great guest to have on.
Yeah. And don't, in the chat, don't ask him any questions about where the NQ is going in the next 30 seconds or something like that. Just absorb it. It'll be good stuff. With that, Mick, we got one card. Then maybe I'll tell my tick story.
Okay. Well, we'll whip through this
Tick
one really
Chronicles.
quickly. This trading card is the same guy that we talked about on Monday and featured Monday for the shoulder tap. Matthew S. Trading out of Jericho, New York. I had great things to say about his trading on Monday. I just, there's not much that's changed on the statistics, so I didn't really put too much here on the card. But I wanted to say he traded today, this session, 9 round turns, up $15,000, and trading 3 lots. He started out, positioned one way. He was long in the overnight, then got short, and he's done for the day already. So $15,000. It's a new account balance high for him. He broke above the 6-figure mark in his trading account, so over $100,000 now. He's got 104 grand sitting in his account, so sitting very pretty. And Jack, going back to what we were talking about on Monday, this is a guy whose best trading day is over $18,000. His average winning trading day is $6,600, $6,500. And his average losing day is only $3,000. So, again, like I said Monday, he doesn't have to be right more than half the time based off of, these winning days are twice the size of the losing days. And on a per trade basis, we're looking at a 3-to-1 risk reward here, taking down $1,600 per contract while only risking close to $600. So that's really, really good. And, I know I mentioned it on Monday, like I said, but this guy has really good hold times too. He's patient with his winning trades. He's impatient with the losing trades, whether that be exiting or just hitting the daily loss limit if he's not on the right side of the market. But I mean, those hold times are, he's spending 40 minutes in his winners and he's spending 11 minutes in his losers. So risk reward on a per trade basis per contract, it's 3-to-1. And then it's 4-to-1 on his time spent in winning trades versus time spent in losing trades. So, I try and come up with areas for improvement, and this guy's just doing it well. Good eye for the markets. Got that downside managed. Again, $100,000 trading account with a $3,000 daily loss limit. It's nice. It's good stuff.
I don't want to say anything to Matt because this gentleman is on a certified heater right now, starting February 21st. His last trading days, he was up 6,700, up 11,800, up 12,200. Yesterday, he took his foot off the pedal. He was only up $2,000, and then you're telling me today he's up $15,000.
Quite the heater. Yeah. And I mean, you know what? For someone who's looking at the trends for the day, you see their P&L high on many days, Jack, is the same as where they end the day. So that tells me that Matthew's framing out his trades. He's got a good idea of where he thinks the market's going to go. He finds his entry spot. It goes there. He covers, and he's out. So definitely not trading his P&L by any means. This is just, it's really good. There's not a lot of days here where you see him being up big and turning a big winning day into a daily loss limit day or a losing day. It's happened a couple times, but all this stuff he's done, all these metrics, they're based off of, this today's day 32 in his account. So 31 trading days, it's a pretty good sample size. So what we're seeing here is, kind of the standard. It's not something that's going to be wildly influenced by, a couple losing days or a couple winning days. So like these are his core metrics and it's a recipe for success. So I'm looking forward to continuing to talk about Matthew and share with our viewers what he's got going because it's good stuff.
There's also, you said, with that 3K loss limit, is I can see from these P&L lows especially that he's not someone that is bloweth thy wad, as you have said, on one trade, where some of these, I talked about this hot streak he's been on, but, take any of these days, the day he was up 6,700, he was flat at some point, down 1,500. The day he was up 11,800, he was at some point flat, down 1,100.
Mm-hmm.
The 12 grand day, he was flat, down 891. 2K day yesterday, he was flat down 690. That shows a lot of times we just see the P&L low for these big numbers just always be the daily loss limit. They're in some trade and they are out when they have to be out. There's a very good
100%.
chance that some of these days would have been DLLs had Matthew not been good about getting out of it's a loser. Okay. It looks like he's maybe risking, I would guess, $1,500, it seems, or getting himself 2 or 3 chances at it if they're all wrong. But that's good to see. We don't see that too often.
Well, I think you're spot on with what he's risking on the trade, $1,500 because he's trading pretty much 3 lots and he scales in. And with the average losing trade or per contract, it's saying $500. So slap, three lots on, that's $1,500. What you were talking about with the P&L lows while he's flat, as they're displayed on the trade report, I think that just goes to reinforce what I was saying earlier about him, where a lot of these days he's locking in, and calling it a day at his P&L high, because if he's not taking losses all the way to the daily loss limit, it means he's exiting trades throughout the day. So it goes back to framing out the trade. He has a good idea of where, if the price gets to this level, I need to get out, exits the trade, moves on to the next one. And psychologically, it's so much easier on you when you have things framed out. If I say I need to get out at this price if it goes against me, or I need to get out at this level if it goes against me, because it could go further against me if once it hits that, what I would describe as an inflection point for my position, you're already determining and putting in your mind that that's a potential outcome of the trade. It's going to be a losing trade if it goes to here. If you already think about that before you're in the trade, it's that much easier to just be like, okay, well, I knew that could happen. It did happen. I got out at the spot I needed to get out. Let me see if I can find another, opportunity in this market. And he's done that many, many times, like you rattled off with his P&L low for the day and turning it around to, a nice 4-figure winning day.
That is great stuff right there. So congrats to Matthew on that. We can bring up the chart. We got a few minutes here. We're going to take a little longer break, I think, before this next segment to get Jim ready to come in and do his thing. But Mick, on the last segment, JD was talking about how in the pits, people wouldn't talk about money terms. They would talk about ticks, how many ticks you made or things like that. Mm-hmm. Was that your experience?
On the floor, I never really heard people talk. Ticks is something that, people mention. I never heard on the floor people talking about how much they made. It was kind of one of those interesting. It was a thing I was very impressed with. You couldn't tell many of these traders. Now, sometimes different. There's a lot of different personalities. So you see somebody pissed off, you might be able to tell that they're losing money. But a lot of these guys that were having big swings up and down, you wouldn't know if they were long or if they were short, or if they. I shouldn't say that, because you can see them and watch them, what they're doing. But you wouldn't know if they're up or down. Like really cool poker faces, and that's all part of maturity and the discipline. When it came to trading on the screen, and I was sharing an office with some guys, yeah, I heard the term ticks and whatnot, but I never heard people talking about how much they were up. Now, I heard people talk about, and this wasn't often, but how much they lost. So it was more so like people not bragging about, but being open about sharing their losses. But if you're making money, you kind of want to keep that to yourself, really.
Yeah, they'd be talking, if you saw that someone made something on a trade, they'd be like, oh, I took a few ticks out of it. But so in trading the spreads we were trading, it was futures against cash. And when you're trading treasury futures, the cash leg comes in units that are $1 million, which sounds like a lot of money, but when you're trading spreads, it isn't. But I was going to say, what's amusing is there was this person who was there for a while who wasn't exactly a Jim Dalton, shall we say, Mick, who was not maybe long for the trading world, but
Oh my God.
someone else from the firm happened to be on the train with them at the same time, didn't notice them, and heard them on the phone with like their night guy, and he was quoting all the spreads in the $1 million like out loud to presumably impress some of the girls on the train. So he'd be like, instead of just saying, so it would be like, okay, so you're saying I'm short 10 million 5-year one-to-ones and short 10 million 2-year. Now, in reality, those trades are not very big at all. You're risking a couple $100 in real money, but saying the millions on the train is kind of a not the best move.
Yeah, you know, you got to feel like a big guy or a big gal somehow, I guess, for some people. Whatever, people need that ego boost, I suppose. Maybe it's similar to, well, I won't go there. I won't go there.
Where were you going to go?
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. We'll just leave it.
I was going to
Going
say
back
from
to
the chat, someone was saying what he was trying to do. This was in the days before Tinder, so I guess that was the way you had to shoot your shot somehow on the brown line at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh boy. Talking about last thing I'll say, because I was thinking about it after I kind of spoke my piece on like whether people like talked about how much they were up or whether it was dollar values or tick. Something that was pretty cool, an experience I want to share that I was thinking about is when I was clerking for someone in the wheat pit, keeping count for him. There was a day where he had a ton of stuff on. We had 4,500 spreads on at the time, wheat against corn, and then calendar spreads in between the both. So we were spread out, big position, and markets were moving around quite a bit and going against us, just about every way, shape, or form. I didn't know how much he was down at one point in time as things were moving around and whatnot. But at the end of the day, came up to me, put his hand on my shoulder. It was like, "You did a great job today." And I'm like I didn't, it was nice. We got smoked, and it was a crazy day, but I did my job well. Next day, I looked at the statement when we came in, and we only finished down $250,000 that day, but it was much worse at one point, and that was just kind of a cool experience. Like, just goes back to like the maturity and kind of that poker face. Like, you might not know if someone's up or down big during the day, and that was just a memorable experience from. I don't know, I was 20 years old at the time. So like 18 years ago, almost 2 decades ago, I remember it really well. And just, something I'd mention around maturity and stuff. See,
That
Jim's in
is
the
great.
background and I got to
I
get
do.
going. So,
Well, it's time. We'll go off together here, Mick. So before we go out, stick around. It's 1:00 next. I see him in the green room right now. We have Jim Dalton, highlight of the week here on Top Step. He's back for profiling and profits. He's going to do a Q&A with John Hoagland. Definitely not going to want to miss this one. Stick around for the break. Enjoy the music. This is going to be an hour of your life you will never regret if you live to be 115. Maybe longer. Who knows nowadays how long? So my dog's going crazy getting ready for him. Stick around. We got Jim Dalton next. This is Top Step TV. Let's go.
Maybe this is the candle, okay? So we got the better half of 8 minutes to go up to here. Let's see if we get the push.
Order filled.
Ooh, what happened there? Did I do it on a different account or what? No. 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 Okay, we're just waiting for Jim Zolko to tell us about this. This right here. Oh my God, look at the magic of knowing where the value was. And I was trading all of this. Jim Zolko to the rescue.
and Momentum. I have read the book. It is excellent. But Jim, a member of the Chicago Board of Trade, as well as the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. He was the executive vice president of the CBOE during the heyday, and he has been in the markets for quite a long time. He is a legend in the markets. He is the master of market-generated information, the professor of profile. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Dalton. Jim, how are you today?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good after that introduction.
There you go.
Anyhow, I've known John for a long time. John, thank you very much. I want to start off today with a couple of comments. My favorite author is Josh Waitzkin's. His book is The Art of Trading. Josh was international champion in 2 disciplines. 1, chess, 2nd, martial arts. His dad made one of the movies after him, Searching for Bobby Fischer. It is an absolutely wonderful book, and he is real legitimate. It's not an easy read, but you don't become the top in the world in 2 disciplines without really understanding how to learn. Josh recently interviewed an individual who's got a title of being the best lion tracker in the world. The quote from the lion tracker was, "I don't know where I'm going, but I know how to get there." I think that's probably one of the most applicable quotes to trading that I've ever heard. The markets are random. The markets are random. And when markets are random, you don't know where you're going, but you do have to know how to get there. Now, what I'm going to say now is probably going to upset an awful lot of traders. There are so many traders that are technically oriented, and I am not technically oriented. Price is nothing more than an advertising mechanism. I believe to be successful, you need to be able to read the markets as they are unfolding. That doesn't mean that I'm oblivious to the 50-day moving average, the 100-day moving average, etc. But my reliance is on the market and the information that the market is giving me right now. I do a short piece each weekend called The Week Ahead. And last week I was scanning some of the comments that the readers made. And I see some of the comments and I said, I would be very surprised if that person's profitable. One comment was, basically I'm clearly wrong, the market's going higher. Next comment was, he's wrong because we're in the right shoulder. I mean, markets don't work that way. Yes, it's okay to see things like that and view the market, but you have to have mental flexibility to go with the changes that occur in the market, and particularly in a random market environment. Now, in order to help this come to life, I want to replay yesterday morning. We'll replay yesterday morning, and then we'll take a fast look at the charts, then we'll go to questions. Jen, can we replay yesterday, please?
Yes. We've got it queued to a minute before the open. And what speed did you want to start off at?
We'll start at 5 times normal speed.
Okay.
The first thing, as we replay yesterday, I want you to pay attention to the previous day's high. And I want you to be able to make sure you understand what the market does when it reaches that previous day's high. Now, what I think has happened here to a lot of traders, the big sharp down on the day before, and then a recovery. A lot of people, I believe, think, okay, we had a rejection. We had the rejection in the market. The market's going higher. I think what we had was a short covering rally. Now, a lot of people don't understand that a short covering rally particularly if you're momentum oriented, the short covering rally may look fairly impressive to you. However, short covering can weaken a market. If short covering is not joined by new money buying, it will weaken the market. When the market is really short, you have to buy to cover those shorts eventually. And as you buy to cover those shorts, you are actually weakening the market because you are taking some of that support away. Short covering misleads a tremendous number of traders. Now, the next thing that happens that you need to be aware of when you open like yesterday, when overnight inventory is long or short, doesn't make any difference, but there's about an 85% chance that you're going to get a counter auction to correct overnight inventory. One of the most misleading things that occurs is when you get a correction to overnight inventory and you misread that for new money buying. So as we came in yesterday, the market is attempting to rally in here. Now remember, as we go higher, pay attention as we get up there, pay attention to the previous day's high. Jen, speed it up to about 10 times normal speed, please. So we've opened within the previous day's range. You opened in the previous day, that is yesterday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The 26th. Yep.
Okay. So go to 30 times till we get up to the high.
So what we're looking at, folks, is the profile just to the left of the profile that's being created right now is the overnight night before last. Or is that
Stop
last
right
night?
here. Sorry, John, go ahead.
So what we're looking at here is the profile just to the left of the profile that's being populated right now. Is that last night or night before last?
That would be night before last.
Night before last. Okay, so the profile that we're kind of focusing on here is the profile just to the left of that, third from the right. And you see that high up there, right there. That's it. Perfect. So it's just making sure everybody's in context with us here. All right, go ahead, Jim.
Okay. Now, one of the things, the harder it is to take out a reference, the greater the odds that that reference will be taken back out later on. Now that's a nuance. That's a nuance. It takes your involvement. So Jen, continue to play this at 5 times normal speed. Notice how difficult the difficulty the market has of taking out the previous day's high or Wednesday's high. Now we're at 5 times normal speed. So what's happening? Short-term traders are automatically selling close to that high. That's, short-term traders have a tendency to buy and sell at mechanical levels. So they're mechanically selling as close to the previous day's high as they can get. So you see the market sells off. Now what's that doing? That's getting their inventory short. That's a very dangerous situation if there's no downside follow through. Okay, go up to about 10 times speed. You see, remember, we're at 10 times normal speed. Stop for a second, okay?
So now mechanical
it's
selling up there.
It tagged the high and one more time, or one tick below it, and short-term sellers immediately sold it once again. They have a tendency to sell at exacting levels. They love to sell highs. They love to buy lows.
Mm-hmm.
That creates a tremendous liquidity inventory problem in the market. Okay, Jen, continue to play, please. Now, we have no excess on that high. The odds of that high being taken out right now is because there's no excess. Now we're in the second half hour. See how much trouble they're having taking that out. Remember, I said the harder it is to take it out, the greater the odds that we will come back through it. Look at that. They're selling it right again. Mechanical selling right at that level.
Uh-huh.
That is a very dangerous sign. Those are what you're always trying to know. Who am I competing against? When you're getting that kind of selling, you're competing against very short-term traders. Those are the weakest of hands traders, and they are the ones that get inventory constantly too long or too short. Constantly selling this market is probably getting inventory very short in here. They see them once more time. They finally got it out.
Kind of busted it out.
Still selling, coming back in. Okay, now there. So now they finally got it out. We've got this. We've got the stops, and now they're reversing and going to the buy side. What you're going to see is you're going to see this market go up. You're going to see it come back down several times, almost exactly to that previous high. When it comes back down to almost exact that previous high and they buy it, that is another indication of weak hands traders. Now, this is difficult because they're not necessarily wrong, at least for that moment in time.
Sure.
But the odds are that they're going to be wrong for a slightly longer period of time. Okay, so Jen, go ahead to 30 times normal speed. So you saw how hard it was to take out Wednesday's high. They got the high. Now everybody's excited and they're in there buying. Watch this market. Watch it come back down. Okay, back down. Short-term traders, one more time, they buy it exactly or within a couple ticks of that low. We're back down again. Back up. This is, when I see this, I know what's going on. This is weak hands traders getting longer and longer and longer in the market. You're going to see this take place. This is one of the longest I've ever seen of where they can come down. I think they came down to it 4 times. I'm sorry this takes a little time to play out, but this is really important because these are the kind of situations that can get you in very serious trouble. If you understand what's going on, you can buy those lows with very tight stops, but you do not want to give it any real leeway. Okay, so now we've made a new high. Jen, go to about 50 times normal speed.
Yeah, if I remember, we made a few new highs up here. A couple of new highs at least.
Yes, now watch this come back down again. Now we're going to play this at 50 times normal speed in order to get through it. Now you see it come back down again. Watch what they do. They're going to buy it again, almost at that exact level.
That same spot.
Okay, they're going to take it back up.
To the tick.
Take it back up very quickly. Now, what is going on here? Short-term inventory is getting excessively long. Okay, stop here for a second, Jen. Now, you just saw it go back down again. Now, what misleads short-term traders so much is this goes on for a couple of hours.
It does.
And it puts you to sleep. It puts you to sleep and you say, well, the market's going higher. Now, what it's doing, it's not necessarily going to break, but the situation is if there's any little hiccup in the market, the odds are that it will come back through there with a vengeance. So all that inventory that they've been buying up there is getting in weaker and weaker and weaker hands. These are the hands that panic. So if the market comes back down through that, they have to sell that inventory. As they sell that inventory, that gets the momentum to the downside, and then traders jump on that momentum. And then they get themselves caught in the other direction. Jen, go ahead and play this out at about 50 times normal speed. So I think the
What
fourth
speed
time
do you want it at, Jim?
50 times normal speed.
Okay.
I think we went down there 4 times. We're going to play this out very quickly. Most traders don't realize the danger that's going on. They fall asleep in this market.
Back
One more
to
time.
the low. Back to
the low. They take it up again. It's just
order filled.
This short-term inventory getting excessively long.
Order filled.
Dangerous situation.
Order filled.
This is a result of traders that don't understand markets and how markets operate. They're simply looking at price. They don't understand anything deeper than price. But the risk to longs is huge in here. So you see, one more time, they bought it almost exactly at that level.
And there it goes. Order filled. Wow. Okay, Jim, can you stop it for 1 second?
What the hell?
Yes.
Jen, thank you. At the highs there, you're often talking about tempo. There was no tempo at those highs. Look at all those even highs up there. Isn't that a little bit kind of weak as far as a high is concerned? Or do you see a lack of tempo up there?
There was a lack of tempo, but I was looking at the bigger picture. It was just late laggard, short-term traders getting long, buying every break in the market, getting themselves excessively long with inventory, and not understanding how much risk they had. Now, I want to play this out all the way because you're going to see these same traders do the wrong thing again in the opposite direction. So unless you, if it's okay, John, we'll play through here.
Yes, please.
Okay, play it out at regular speed, or 50 times.
There it goes.
Let me put on the level.
They trying to buy it there now.
Okay, now as this is playing out, what is going on? These traders they're emotionally, the emotions are high, the liquidation was high, the emotions are high, everybody's jumping on that. And when you see it market spread out like this, the chances are early on they got themselves too long, the chances are they're getting themselves too short in here. Now you also have the prior low that we had from the break the other day. It did not get that out. The market stopped right there. But this is strung out. This is pure emotion. This is where traders do themselves in. And this was just, what you're going to see as we play this out. What I wanted you to feel, the emotion on the high and understand how traders got themselves in trouble. And it takes a lot of patience because it's set up there for a couple of hours. So keeping your hands off of it is very, very difficult. It takes a tremendous amount of patience. When this market breaks, now they get the inventory exception. They go from exceptionally long to exceptionally short. When it's strung out like this, that is usually an indication of extreme emotional selling. And if you think about when you make emotional decisions, are they usually your best decisions? No. Okay, I wanted to show this because it is just so important, because these are the days that make or break you in the market. Okay, we can stop here, Jen. I wanted
Thank you,
people
Jim.
to see this, and I want you, as you remember the day they took this. They took most of this back before the
Yeah, they
day
did.
was over because they got it too short. They got it too short, and then they squeezed them all day long.
Yes, they did. Wonderful. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for that.
Take any questions you might have.
Okay. So Jim, I read the book. Wonderful book. Robert is quite an author. You are quite an author. And there was one question that I know a lot of people are going to ask when they read the book, as soon as they read the book, and it was something we talk about quite a bit here. First, what is the biggest difference that you see between your third book and the first two?
Experience. If you notice, the first book had an awful lot to do with the fundamentals of the profile, forming the profile itself. We talked about how do you learn, and which is really important and still relevant today.
Order
The
filled.
first book opened with the point of view of how do you become a concert pianist, and you go through 5 steps. You go through a beginner stage. The piano has black keys and white keys. You then get to competent, which is the third stage, meaning you can play Beethoven exactly as it's written. As you get to the final stage, expert, you and the piano are one. But it's important to understand that learning process. So many times, short-term traders, and I know from all the work I've done over the years, that the success ratio is extremely low. Most traders don't have the patience. They don't have the patience to gain the skills that they need to be a competitive, successful trader. But if you understand the first book, it goes through those learning steps. But what the first book lacked was a deeper understanding of the emotional issues we deal with as traders. And this book is loaded with, the many, many years of emotional factors that I had to deal with. And as you remember, I talk about, I went through a period of over 20 years where I was not profitable. I made every mistake possible. I went to every indicator possible. I knew all this stuff, and that really was not meaningful to me. When it finally dawned on me that you have to be involved in the flow of the market and forget about the traditional technical indicators that people work with. Remember, and this is key, this is what separates me from almost all other traders. Price is nothing more than an advertising mechanism.
Order rejected.
But yet, so many people are hung on momentum. They make price everything, and that is a tremendous trap in the market. What I was trying to show you by replaying the early video was the importance of context. Remember, we started off in how hard it was to take out the early morning high or the high from the previous day. Right. If you had good, strong underlying buying, you're going to take that out right through it. And you didn't. So that was an early morning clue to me that when I played a lot of, I started off with handball and then I played a lot of racquetball over the years. But one of the things you always wanted to know, who are you competing against? Is it a left-hander? Is it a right-hander? How good can they hit the ceiling shot? Are they good at the ceiling shot? Or, can you back them into the corner? Who are you playing? You never played the same person twice. And when you're in the market, you're never up against the same competition. You have to constantly have some assessment of your competition and what they're doing. For example, yesterday morning, I could see that the competition was getting excessively long, and I knew that competition was weaker hands traders. When the market broke, these same traders went from being long to being short, the classical whipsaw. And as the market broke, it didn't take out the low from a couple of days ago. So we were
Right.
still within this trading range. But now they've gotten themselves from too long to too short. And then the rest of the day, you get this short covering rally in there.
So
So
Jim,
again,
is there
knowing who your
is there
competition is key.
is there a specific thing that you're looking at, or is it really more intuitive and experience that points out the fact that this is probably, well, you already did say, you know, when they started buying, when it was hard to get above the previous day's high, and when it finally got above there, they kept buying it. We weren't seeing the upside tempo. I can see how that would be one of the telltale signs, but intuition and experience has a lot to do with understanding the lack of tempo at those highs, and recognizing that's probably shorter time frame, weaker hands buyers at the top there, which so often that is the case, and the weaker hand sellers are at the bottom. It always looks best at the top and worst at the bottom. I got a question I got to ask you. I know a lot of people are wondering about this because we talk about the initial balance quite a bit. And you say that you no longer look at like named day types or opening types, and you don't really you view the initial balance as a valid reference anymore. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's correct. It all of these things sounded nice. If you recall, I paid $10,000 to Stottlemyre to sponsor his book, and that positioned me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started going to his classes, and then when I wrote my book, I wrote a lot of what I learned from Pete. And writing things down is a great learning process. But over the years, I seriously investigated everything. In some cases, markets changed. In other cases, they just weren't valid. You know, for example, the day types. You know, open and drive was one of them. Well, open and drive, if you're breaking out of a range, is certainly different than open and drive if you're in the middle of the previous day's range. So again, I come back to context is everything in there. And so that's what it just kept going through that process. But then initially they talk about initial balance. Well, I've refined that. I don't use initial balance, but it's not totally disregarded in my mind. For example, if the early morning range is very narrow, be careful, because you're either going to have a continued narrow day or you've got a chance for a big breakout one way or the other. But what I do, the first thing I look at is overnight inventory. Is overnight inventory long or short? I know that there is about a 75 to 85% chance that we will get a counter auction relative to overnight inventory. I know that the 15% of the time we don't get the counter auction, for example, if overnight inventory is long and we don't get a counter auction, I know that that's a sign that the market's pretty strong and we've got a pretty good chance for a trend day, because the odds are you're going to get a counter auction. You don't get that counter auction, there's a message there. As you know, John, you and I have talked about this before. What doesn't happen in a market is often as important or even equally more important than what does happen. So when I've got long overnight inventory and I don't get that counter auction or that correction to overnight inventory, that's a pretty good indication to me that there's some pretty good underlying strength in the market.
It's more than just short time frame, weaker hands buying that thing.
That's right. There's stronger hands. When you don't get the counter auction, it's a sign you probably got pretty good strength. But I also look and I say, okay, does the market open within and where relative to the previous day? The closer the market opens to the center of the previous day, the greater the odds that I'm going to have a rotational day. Nothing's absolute, but the greater odds that I'm going to have a rotational day. So I'm looking for smaller opportunities in there. Now, the next thing I look for, and I don't, it's not a checklist where it's 1, 2, 3. These things go on simultaneously, but I'm looking to see how much confidence is there from the opening. Whether it opens outside, inside, or above the previous day's range, how much early morning confidence is there? The greater the confidence early on, unless it is just short covering a long liquidation. And you have to understand what was the inventory probably going in. But I look at confidence. How much confidence is there? And it's those three things that have replaced focus on initial balance. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for the answer, Jim.
Shall we
I
do
know
a
a lot of
commercial?
people were wondering about that.
Yeah. Shall we do a commercial?
Sure.
Jen, you wanna do a commercial?
Sure. So our website, jimdeltontrading.com, and if you go to the courses page, that's where you'll find our offerings, and you'll see that the primer is featured up here at the top. But we do have an updated live market profile primer that is going to be running from April 23rd to May 1st. And this is a great course for those of you that are new to market profile, those of you that maybe know a little bit, but you want to make sure you understand the concepts as Jim intended, or for those of you that want to refresh your market observation skills and trading basics, because everybody knows that if you are a professional, you always go back to basics. So this is something that is on. It's currently on sale, I believe, for $469. As we creep up and get closer to the start of the class, the price will go up. You do not need to have any market profile charting software to join us for this course. All of the webinars, live webinars, are recorded in case you're not able to attend, or maybe you live in a time zone for which you can't attend all of the courses live. Completely understandable. Participants of this primer will have access to materials and the recordings for 3 months after the course finishes, so that you have time to review. You can go and download the schedule that you see here from the details on the primer page there. So if you have any questions, by all means, you can always contact us. The number at the bottom of our screen, I'd be happy to speak with you, or you can shoot us an email at jimdeltontrading.com. For those of you that maybe you're not interested in the primer, you can join. By the way, the primer is a live course that we only do a couple of times a year. So if you've been on the fence with it, now would be a great time to sign up for that. We also have our Foundation and Application of the Market Profile e-course, and this is an online at your own pace e-course. And it covers more than what we can cover in the primer. So the primer is an 8-day live course. The first 4 days, we take the linear teaching material from the Foundation e-course, and that's what makes up the first 4 days of the primer. And then the latter 4 days of the primer is live markets, Jim narrating the live markets and pointing out those concepts. And it's also great because for those of you who have already done the Foundation e-course, or maybe just recently got it, you guys kind of have a head start with getting clarification questions, because you can go through the material, the Foundation e-course, and then ask your clarification questions in the primer. So we've had some people who are excited to do that. So I just wanted to let people know that that's something that you can do too. But if you're not able to join us live, or you're not interested in a live course, you can always start off with the Foundation e-course. And also, by doing the Foundation e-course, which is usually a prerequisite to join us for other more advanced classes that we do. But for the primer, you do not need to have, there's no prerequisite requirements, and you don't have to have market profile charting software.
Jen, thank
just
you.
One correction. Yep, one correction that I just wanted to make. You can find this page about Jim's book if you want to order it. It's available on Amazon right now. It's actually on sale. You can go resources, books.
Order filled.
And the book that Jim was discussing when we started this session was The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. I think, Jim, you had mentioned The Art of Trading. It's The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. So you can find the link to his book here as well.
Thank you. Jen, thank you very much. John, before you go to the next question, let me just make clear that we get the question all the time. If I take the primer, will I
Order
be
filled.
able to be a successful trader? The answer is probably not. My goal, if you are struggling with trading and it's difficult for you, the realistic goal, if you start with the primer, would be to break even within 2 years. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have that kind of time." Well, ask yourself what's happened in the meantime, because I know what the success ratio is for most traders. I equate it a lot of times to people that sit up in the stands of the baseball game. They know all the statistics, but they can't hit the ball. It takes thousands of times at bat. Anyhow, I don't want to scare anybody off, but I want to make sure we're not in the business of misleading people about what it takes to become a successful trader. It is hard work and it's dedication. If you're willing to do that, I'm willing to share my many, many years of experience. And as I tell people, there's probably nothing that I have learned the easy way. John, questions?
All right. Jim, I always remember you saying you'd probably see a lot more successful traders, but most people either run out of money or run out of time. All right. So, all right, we're going to go through some of these questions. I know we don't have a lot of time left, so I'm going to kind of do them in lightning speed here, if that's all right. I got Thomas asking, can you use market profile for overnight sessions?
The answer is yes, but you have to be experienced because it trades differently overnight, because the makeup of the competition is generally weaker hands traders. The references will be more exacting overnight, and there's more of a tendency to follow the leader. And as I say, about 85% of the time, we get a counter auction or correction to overnight inventory. And you need to understand what's important is to understand how overnight inventory relates to the day time frame, because you come in the morning and overnight inventory is up 20 handles, and all of a sudden it's hard not to have a bias to the upside, and all of a sudden you may get a sharp correction to that overnight inventory. Look what happened today. Okay.
Yep. Thank you, Jim. Do you look at an opening range or anything to that in that way? I know you look at the opening price or the opening tick. Do you still look at maybe a 1 minute opening range or a 3 minute opening range, anything like that?
Absolutely, positively not. It's absolutely the last thing I would do. As I said earlier, I look to see, am I opening within or outside of the previous day's range, and how far within or outside. The closer I am to the center of the range, the greater the odds I'm going to get rotation. Bigger trades are going to be near the extremes of the previous day's range, or they're going to gap in or out.
Got it. Thank you. All right. A lot of folks are kind of wondering how you can sense when there's bigger institutions entering the market. And I think that one of the things that you've already said today was when you're coming up to a known reference in the day time frame or even longer time frame, if the market walks right through it, it's probably bigger hands traders. If there's exact trading going on at that level, it's probably weaker hands traders. Would you say that's correct?
Yes and no. If you look, one of the things I do, I always start with a monthly bar chart. As soon as each day is over, I go to the monthly bar chart. If you go to the monthly bar chart now, you will see for many, many weeks, the market's gone nowhere. There is no indication whatsoever that there's any longer time frame participation in the market. All kind of people that think they're going to look at, bids and offers and footprints and stuff like that to determine if there's, bigger players in the market. That's a fallacy. The bigger players do go out of their way to make sure you don't know what they're doing. If it was easy to read what they were doing, the other professionals would front run them.
Would know.
So there's a lot of things that mislead traders, that they think they're doing right, they think it feels right, but it's absolutely wrong.
Thanks, Jim. Syed has a question. Do you still consider like the value area special situation play or any of the special situation plays to be valid?
What I do, the value area, remember the value area represents 70% of the day's market activity.
Mm-hmm.
The value area helps center what's going on. Am I getting unchanged value, higher value, lower value, overlapping to higher, overlapping to lower? I will find, for example, if I trade with the direction of the developing value, for example, if developing value is overlapping to higher, I generally want my trades to be with that. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to, have a counter auction from time to time, but it's really if the value is overlapping to higher, it's rare that you're going to get a big reversal to the opposite side. You may get noise or news that takes it down there for a couple of minutes or so, but it'll come back. Is that perfect? No, but it will help center you. And so many people don't get centered. They're whipped around by price rather than understand what the trend is or understand if we're in balance, understand where value is developing for today. That will help you tremendously.
Thanks, Jim. Order filled. There's a couple of questions here about the breadth of the market. And, if market breadth is bullish, but it's rotating, is there a key market profile signal that might help confirm whether it's balanced or preparing for a breakout? My thought on this is maybe a migrating point of control throughout the day could be something that could point that out. What are your thoughts?
I think that's more wishful thinking than anything else. Everybody's looking for that. Everyone wants the magic, and it's not. It's seldom there. I mean, if you have, for example, right now I think we have a 4-day trading range going into PCE tomorrow morning. Now, I haven't looked at the market recently, but since we started this, but the market was testing. You've got a gap down there, and the market's testing that gap down there. If you look on the daily, you have your daily bar chart.
It just closed it.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to show that earlier, but that's what I've been looking at. That what happens. I use a term called the semi-permeable membrane. So you've got that gap down there. What happens the first time down? The market goes down and it bounces. If you think about, say you had a balloon and you touch that with a pencil and it bounces. Well, that little spot on the balloon probably weakened a little bit. Now it comes down a second day and it weakens. Comes down a third day, or like today, and it finally takes it out. I call it the semi-permeable membrane. Each time it hits it, it gets it weaker. Now, what happens? Short-term traders, the first time you go down there, anybody can see the gap on a bar chart. Oh boy, this is the place. This is support, and they buy it.
Right.
And then you get a bounce. They buy it again, and it gets less and less each time until you break through.
It's osmosis, the semi-permeable membrane. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Hey, question. Brit prop trader. Do you prefer market profile or volume profile, or is it a combination of the two?
I use market profile. And the reason, and I understand, I don't go to war over this. I know the majority of people argue about volume profile. Volume profile shows the volume and it makes everybody feel good. But what volume profile doesn't do, it doesn't record time the way I do. By using the traditional TPOs, it gives me a better idea of how much time the market is spending in one place. And I believe that, price advertises opportunity, time regulates all opportunities. So time is an extremely important component to me, and that's why I use the traditional profile that uses TPOs.
Do you feel as though that there's more kind of nuances and references in the market profile, the TPO profile, more than the volume profile?
I don't know. That when you start looking at questions like that, you can spend a lot of time and get yourself off in a dead end corner.
Down in a
Look
rat
at
hole.
the bigger picture of what's going on in the market. Start in the morning. Get in the flow of the market. Do we have confidence? We have high confidence, low confidence. Are we getting higher value, lower value? Are we in balance or out of balance? Those are the bigger pictures. And so many times people get so focused on one tiny little reference that they lose their perspective and they lose the power. We've got so much intuitive power. Now you have to hone that and develop it over the years. But when you get so tightly focused on one point, so oh, I'm using the VWAP. I have people talk, oh, I use the VWAP, or I use this. They do themselves a tremendous injustice because they lose the bigger picture.
I love this question. If you were to start your trading career now, what would you do different than when you started?
John, I don't think we have enough time to answer that question. There's so many things I wouldn't do. I know what I would do today. I mean, knowing what I know now, I would say concentrate. One, start with the bar charts to get a perspective of what's going on. I always start with the monthly bar chart to see the bigger picture. Then I go top down to the weekly and to the daily. It gives me an idea of what is going on in the market in a bigger picture. Then I come down and I use the profiles in order to start having some idea of what I might want to do the next day or today. But I always start with a top-down approach. So many people are bottom up that they have their favorite indicator or whatever it is. They're bottom up rather than top down. And I started bottom up, always looking for the magic indicator. Oh boy, I'm going to go this seminar because they're going to talk about this magic, and that's all I need. Oh, it's the VWAP. It's the 45-degree line, and what happens, you get locked on one of those things, and your chances of being able to be mentally flexible no matter what the market does is very, very limited.
Jim, I think this kind of goes with one of the quotes that I've written down from your new book. And that quote is, people failed to see what the world was telling them when the message wasn't one they wanted to hear.
That actually, I usually do that in two parts. You get two things that lock you up: what you need to have happen, and what you want to have happen. And those are probably two of the things that will get you in more trouble. You got a loss. Oh boy, another couple ticks and I'll break even. We take so much damn risk to break even that we lose all the other information. So it's that really question of keep a larger perspective in the market. And it's what is the market doing, not what you want it to do or what you need it to do. How many times what you needed to do, your ego gets in place and boy, do anything to break even. Oh boy, just give me that another tick.
All right. So one more question. And this one I think we'll probably touch on everybody. Now, one of the things about your new book, Markets Markets and Momentum, you do spend a lot more time talking about the self-knowledge, and you talk a lot about the importance of journaling and the importance of journaling and recording emotions and changes in those emotions while you're taking trades, while you're in trades. How does this help create a process for I think what we're trying to do here is kind of absorb the information, become a little bit more intuitive after every trade, and then to just let go of the past and look for the next trade with a clear mind, centered and ready for the next opportunity. You've always said, like, what is it? Market knowledge and self knowledge plus strategy equals successful trading.
Your result.
Yes.
But it's the real question is know yourself. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know yourself. When I was in high school, I boxed for a short period of time, and one of the individuals I boxed against was an individual by the name of Timmy Brazier. Unfortunately, Timmy got killed in a car accident before we found out how really good he was. I took some pretty good beatings from Timmy, but what you learn very quickly, you learn what the other person's capable of, You learn what you're capable of, and you learn what you're not capable of. And if you don't learn what you're not capable of, you're going to be on your back or your fanny pretty quick.
Yes, I tried boxing once too until I got punched in the nose, and then I decided it wasn't for me. So kudos to you for sticking in there with Timmy. And again, we're sorry about his loss.
Hey,
But,
I always had protection when I sparred with Timmy. I had protection.
well, Jim, Jen, Robert, thank you very much for joining us today. We really just kind of touched on on a lot of the questions, and I think we did a pretty good job of it. We really appreciate you spending time with us today, Jim, Jen, and make sure you tell Robert. I think this book is very well written. It's in small bites. It's easily digestible. I've only read this one once so far, but the other ones, I think I read this one 3 or 4 times. In Mind Over Markets, I keep on my desk as reference for some of the things that we're looking at in these markets. And we really appreciate you, Jim, and your time, and Jen, your time. Will you come back and join us again, and we'll try and get some more of these questions taken care of?
Man, I'd
Sound
love
good?
to, but I want to say one thing. I've gone back 3 or 4 times and read my own first book. I mean,
I
it's
bet.
amazing. You forget stuff. You
Yeah.
forget stuff. But anyhow, thank you. And yes, I'd love to be back. And John,
Yeah.
you and I have known each other
Wonderful.
for years, and I thank you very much.
Well, we appreciate it. I appreciate that, Jim. And for people that are going through the Mind Over the Markets book, a lot of folks feel like it's a hard to read book, but you got to remember, it's not a novel. It is a textbook. It is a textbook. It's something that you're going to have to reread and reread and reread. So keep at it, Jim. Blessings to you. Blessings to your family, Jen. Blessings to you. Tell Robert I said hello, and we will see you next time. So. Folks, we've got the Power Hour coming up here. John London is back with us for Power Hour, and Andre and Dolby are going to be with him looking for some trades. Yeah, Jim, we just closed that gap, right? Almost to the tick. What's next? All right, folks, thank you very much for joining. Jim, Jen, thank you as always. We'll look forward to having you back here again soon. Stick around, folks. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
My God, what's going on here?
Order filled.
Back to 800. Oh my God. So now let's play. You know it's going over there. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the one. 116. Shooting. Yes, that was the reward right there. The reward and I love the stress. This now it's you see why you love it. It's glad you don't have. One is two, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you reflect your head. You reflect the time. That's gonna be
Oh, it does not stop around here. This is Power Hour. We are back on Top Step TV. Joining us, the man in the middle, John London. Then we got Dolby Time making his first appearance. The day's got the keys to the house account. I do believe house account up about $500 or so. But right now, John London, we are in the midst of a sell-off.
Yeah, man. Tariff fears, man. Tariff fears. The president, he seems like he's talking every day. tariff news. What happened is this morning he updated. Originally, they thought the tariffs would be implemented. I think it was in April. He moved it up to I think March 4th now, which is next Tuesday. He doubled the tariffs on China, so now 20% tariffs, 10% plus. I think he said an additional 10%, and so it's just making the market fear the inflation consequence of all those tariffs. I think, and yeah, Nvidia, Google, bunch of big tech breaking down today.
There you go. MP in the chat says, "What's up, London?"
Mm.
Let's get right into
Hey, what's up, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can maybe snipe an entry to the short side here.
I like it.
Yeah,
Might.
we're so down. I don't know whether I want to buy or short. The momentum's
so
on the short
right
side
now.
for sure. Yeah. If I try to buy it, yeah. But I need a little bounce to short, I think. Like, I don't mind shorting at 20.8K, like 20.8K. A little scalp there, maybe at like 2862 or 863. We got a lot of confirmation in that level, but here's a little bit too close to those lows. I don't want to get like liquidity grabbed up there. So I'm just going to wait, see if we catch a bounce and short into that.
Oh, shit. We got 1,000 on the NQ downside. 20,734. 734. 1,000 lot downside on the bid.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
good
trying to see
1
if
minute
there's any
range
news.
here. Like, really good 1 minute range in the NASDAQ. I could establish some, at least a cheap stop. And that would have been around like 760s.
Where'd it go? And
Stop around
pulled.
780s.
It got pulled.
Yeah, Google's breaking down too. A lot of stuff's breaking down. It's not much when you look at the long-term chart, but it's definitely kind of stroking some fears in the market. I'm slightly green. We got a little cushion, but we need a bounce.
Okay. So price new lows, S&Ps, new lows, NASDAQ incoming.
Order
Let's
filled.
trade 20,746. Low day 20,737.
I mean, I'm looking at 700s,
Totally went
680s.
lower. Okay.
Those are all in
Here we
play
go.
and not far away right now.
Yeah, we're
I was
right
not
at
moved
this
down,
low.
I'm told. All right. What price did it move down to in the chat? Not see it.
Something else we have tomorrow is PCE inflation too. So like the Fed's preferred inflation metric, PCE drops at 8:30 tomorrow. And so if that comes in hot, it's going to make it much worse. I think the market's going to freak out and drop even more. So that's something to tune into tomorrow.
Move to 680. Thank you. Apparently 1,000 lot.
680s?
It's
That makes
680.
sense.
Okay, that would be new lows.
It would be.
Thank you,
Not
Adam.
that far away.
Move to 675.
Just,
Okay.
if I can intervene,
Yeah.
7:30 Central Time PCE. So you're East Coast, Johnny.
Sure.
People are going to be coming in late. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Eddie.
Estoy ocupado, no me moleste, por favor.
Yeah, Bitcoin, crypto going down too. Honestly, giving us a little volatility there. Do y'all think it's time to buy the dip? Do y'all have some day trading strategies around Bitcoin? You think or no?
I do not. Look out below, though, right?
Yeah, it gets scary when it starts dropping like this. You never know.
675. All right. Take a look at the tilt here. 62% long in the 61% long in the NQ.
I mean, do we like shorts above 73s?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind like 67. I'm showing as a level. 767. I see another level. Yeah, like I don't mind 73. 73s are okay. I want a little bit higher though. I wouldn't mind like 83s or even like 800. Seems okay.
I mean, 795 would be great.
Here we go. What's up, Eddie?
We got Harker. Hark the Herald Angels sing. He says policy rates remain restrictive enough to continue putting downward pressure on inflation. That's the hot biscuit right here. I'm going to be watching. He's on the wire here right now. Back to you, Andre.
Thank you. Headline just coming in left and right. This is wild right now.
Yeah, I mean, it would honestly just be fun to take a bunch of shorts if we could. Everything from like 80 up to 800s. But it's man, it's gonna be tough to get filled.
I just worry about that end of the day reversal too. Like sometimes I get beat up trying to follow the momentum with that end of the day kind of push up, especially if we're down so much.
But yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we think about the odds of bad things happening, but we could just as easily think of the odds of good things happening. and we don't know the
for
answer
sure.
to either of those questions. And momentum has been very bearish today, so it's like cross-referencing our conviction to like the potential opportunity. It seems like a pretty easy short.
Sure, 100%.
Yeah. Question is, where do you get in? Do we get a much of a pop to sell into? I guess is the question. Or you just get on board. That's the hard part. You have to sell in the hole.
70s, 69s. I mean, the range is so good on the 1 minute that it would be relatively easy to define risk just above 75s, but not. We're starting to run from it. So let's see if this can bounce and maybe pick back up. We had a series of higher lows on the 1 minute, so maybe we can get a bounce up into these like 780s and then a continuation to the downside. Like I said, we're not that far away from 680s or 700s. I definitely think those are on the docket for today, and that would pretty much cover the weekly range to range trade. So if we did get down to 680s, I would probably smash the reverse button.
680s?
Yeah.
But I also want to say almost like 70, 80 points down to that level. So it's like, why not go for part of it? This is going to run.
Man, here we go.
Yeah, there it goes. I should have done. I think one of the ways to do it. Or go ahead.
No, just say new lows incoming. Here we go. 20,733 in. Go ahead. Wow.
Just waving goodbye.
Dolby was right.
Where are they going to take this? Just sell.
Order filled.
New lows ES 58.97. Now into the 20s. 20,722.
Almost.
It was a bull run until John Owen took his hat off. They say.
Oh my God. Yup. 719s. 20,719s. New lows. New lows down. New lows S&Ps.
Yep.
I think what I got to do is just take small size on like a reasonable bounce. Then if it goes in the momentum, I can add more to it. I think is now the plan. I don't want to get left, but we already kind of did. Should have listened to Dolby, guys. That's what I should have done.
There's still time. There's still time.
There is.
Yeah.
I mean, do shorts come in at 740s again? Because that could be support becomes resistance. I don't think I'd take that trade though. Not unless it needs to consolidate a little bit underneath 740s for that to be a good one. Ooh, a little bit of a bounce. We still might get our 774s here.
774, okay.
74s, 85s, 800s. Those are all good levels.
774. All right. Quick Delta update. Minus 3,700 in the ES, minus 4,600 in the NQ.
Yeah, the 50% retracement on that little range got tagged pretty much to the tick and rolled over 20 points. Man, it's good scalping weather here.
Yeah, no, man.
20 points. Look at that in a second.
Where are they going to hammer this to? No, it's not, Taz. Wild Power Hour going on right now. Upper left-hand corner of the screen, you see hashtag Power Hour. Hit us up at TopStep TV on the X. I think we'll have some content for everyone. And towards the end of Power Hour, lower right-hand corner, you'll see the countdown clock, 44 minutes till the closing bell, 34 minutes till MOC. Everything just buyers just getting smoked right now.
Yeah.
1 point off the lows in the ES. 58.94. 53. Bitcoin new lows. Thanks.
And then we have 700. We have 700 right underneath us. That's a level 2, but
that was not gone.
If you want to see it go up, we just got to short it right now.
Delta just jumped from minus 3,700 to now minus 10,500 in the ES. Shorts piling in.
Whoa.
Thank you.
That's a lot.
They're trying to drive it down.
Yep.
Yeah, I need a bounce.
50-50 on the tilt.
So where do you want to short? Short Delby. If you jump in here, where do you want to short? Where's your level?
I mean, we're a little bit out of location now, but if we can get a good consolidation on a small time frame, I would 740s. I mean, just any stair step short, I think, is valid until proven otherwise. And stair step short is just consolidation down, consolidation down, consolidation.
Buyers giving it a little bit of a shot here. Little bit. They can try squeeze them. They can try squeeze the shorts. I saw that Delta grow. That's in the ES. NQ as well. Let's see.
680s are just, I think, too close to not get touched.
Yeah, there's 40.
Yeah, 40s.
Mhm.
Thing is, they're all good. All the shorts look good right now. Just depends how much you want to risk on it.
Yeah, I think you start small and then add to it if it goes in your favor, and then you gotta more risk averse, but works well, I think. But
Mr. No Nick asking, what news did I miss that was driving the market lower? Eddie, in general, what the theme? Tariffs, I suppose. Hawkish commentary out of the Fed.
Order
as well.
filled.
Yeah, we had we had a slew of goodies here today. I mean, Trump talking just about everything.
New lows.
We had a handful of feds speaking, and I guess you can call it the trend. That played a factor also.
Sure.
New lows.
We had GDP. Yeah. Yeah, GDP showed up at 2.3%. It was second revision data today, but I don't know if the market liked that either. And then jobless claims came in high, so unemployment rate came in high. A lot of people are yelling stagflation when I was listening to it. So that mixed with tariffs, I think it's just making people panic. NVIDIA earnings too. Yeah.
Yeah, market was hoping for NVIDIA to bail out equities. Did not.
We had a pending home sale big miss also.
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, NVIDIA beat most of its metrics, but I think people still expect more. Guidance was kind of flat, and so that made people more pessimistic. I think they wanted it to just be some knock it out the park results, and it just wasn't. I think so. Barely moved at all from earnings too, which is weird.
Buckle up. Volatility. All right, 20,713, about 5 points off the lows. 708's low of day in the NASDAQ, 5893 low day in the ES, point off the lows in the new lows ES. See if NASDAQ can do the same.
Yep. I want to see 700 to see if it bounces there, but
700s will certainly bounce a little bit.
200 lot downside on the 700 bid, 200 lot.
If we get to 680s and it starts getting momentum to the upside, that could be a huge reversal.
Yeah.
New lows ES and that 200 lot filled on the 700s. Actually, no. Maybe they came up or they pulled it. 3,700.
20 points away.
NASDAQ, yep.
Order filled.
Yeah, there's a bounce right there. Let's see if it breaks and holds. If it holds here, it might give us a little entry bounce up to. I still like 740, that Dolby's level.
For another short, yeah.
I like 760s better, just a little bit less extended, but 740s might just the momentum's so heavy, you know.
It is. I mean, I'm kind of a psycho, but I wouldn't even mind. I wouldn't even mind putting in wishing orders for bids like every 10 points down below 680.
Just kind of riding the candle, yeah. That makes sense.
Well, I mean for longs, because the whole situation that I'm seeing potentially play out here is this weekly range that's been established. It kind of goes right down to like 680s. This was back in like mid-November. And I think if we can get down to 680 run stops, then that would be the range to range trade from high to low. So if we can get a little bit of a wiggle to the downside, break outside of range, this might shoot back up again. If alternatively, this could just completely melt and do a range break and fail to the downside.
Just collapse.
But the opportunity to get involved and the risk reward associated with it are very, very high.
And you're looking at the 680s. Is that like on a longer term chart? Those bottoms from like
weekly range, going all the way back to like the week of November 11th to today.
Yeah,
the whole thing's a weekly range. 20,680 up to 22,450 is the weekly range.
Look, I'm gonna jump in 3 micro contracts, tiny little trade, and if it goes in my favor, I'll keep. Short. We're just gonna look to scalp the momentum. If it keeps bouncing up to 750s, we'll add a little bit more. But we're gonna keep it small just because we are kind of extended. It's a little
what price?
Sketchy, but
what price, John?
So our entry now is 737.
Okay.
We're just going to look to play the range back down to 700. But I got to keep it tight because we are momentum. Like we are extended a little on the downside. So
50-point bounce casual in the NASDAQ. Last trade, 20,750. 752s now.
We're going to get short 753s and 773s.
Okay. Short one from 753.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so my average is now 740s. So we're almost flat. But
short one.
73% long here. ES, 67 in the NASDAQ.
Hammer it right into
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Turtles. Yes. MOC should be fun, says Bullet Traders. Oh, man. Buckle up. Still got 26 minutes of that. Bottom of the hour incoming. I don't even know if we have time. Do we have time to do above below? We're just going to trade this thing. All right. I'll do it this time. You guys are in trades. Above below NASDAQ on the close. Will it close above or below 20,800? 800.
20,008? I think it's going to be below just based off of the momentum, but maybe I'm biased because of my trade right now. I hope it's below, at least.
We could do like a conditional on that. I'd be like above 800 if we get to 680s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bullet Trader says MOC should be fun. I hope so, Bullet Traders.
That's right.
What do you think, Bullet Traders?
You got some blows coming in right now. Look at that poll up. Right now, House is short. John London is short. The NASDAQ.
Let's start. I'm taking some off now.
Nice.
I got one contract in. We just made like 150 or so. And then I might hold on to this last little baby contract. I'm up about 100 ticks on it. So not bad. The momentum. I'm going to just jump out here, I think. And I don't want to get greedy. That's the contract I was the most up on, I think. So we made about 200 just now. So I'll take it. Quick little scalp, but good
all right.
enough.
Says along is very risky. Oh man, right back up to 753s.
This might be inverse head and shoulder, but I'm still not sold on this being a reversal.
Me neither. At the tilt 69% long. Nice out, John London.
Oh yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, the 767
Order
level might still hold resistance there too. So I think you got momentum's in your favor for sure. Look at that candle.
I wish we shorted it. That would have been a good
800s. Hey, Robert, 20,800. Pull the poll.
Fix it. Mo says any long is very risky.
Oh, yes.
He took a profit at 27.5 with a stop at 27.22.
20,735. You got lows, 20,700 even to the tick.
We're going to reoffer 59s and see if we can trade around this position.
Okay. It's amazing stuff. Volatility, just absolutely amazing. Not the easiest, but still opportunities there. We're learning in real time right now.
Yeah. These are days that if you have experience as a trader and you've been through this, it's kind of the time that you want to pedal to the metal a little bit.
Order filled.
Opening up risk because there's so much opportunity to take advantage of, and it doesn't come along like this that frequently. And so you kind of have to have a game plan to start, taking advantage of some of these moves. Yeah, we're down 1.5 to 2%, 2.5%. Because it's its own world. It's its own little trading world. It's not the same as like a range day or anything like that. There's fundamental news moving the markets. It's a different type of trade.
Right.
Definitely. There's a shift in the markets right now.
Yeah.
VIX is high, VIX is high. But volatility is high.
Are we above 20 in the VIX?
Yeah, we're at almost 21 right now.
Okay. Finally.
Yeah.
Just woke up.
We get below 730s. It's going to be very good.
So into it. Just hammer this thing.
That's going to kind of ruin the inverse head and shoulders. If we break below that.
Oh man, this is like the tipping point right now. 20,737 right now.
Yeah, we're approaching the last 30 minutes too, so that's probably
Sweet.
when the volatility will kick in some more.
Yep, 2 minutes till the bottom of the hour.
Yep, offerings 59s and 74s.
Short from 53. Buyers are trying, and they've got to be nervous. 70% long ES.
Order filled.
Anything coming in, Eddie? I'm not seeing much.
No.
Nope. Okay. Eddie been crushing it on the news today.
Order
It's a
filled.
news day too. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a news day for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Crazy week too, man.
Get below. Well done.
Oh,
Here we go. Good movement to the downside. We can pull some of our orders that we want to use to add. Go to a 30-second chart. Wow, nice rip to the downside.
Mm-hmm. See if it accelerates here.
Yep. That candle. Good one.
I'm in that little 5-minute range.
Should have held that little contract.
That was in 709. See if we test those 700s.
Yep, very close.
Yes, we are in the ES.
Our take profit is 82.5, just above 80s.
Okay.
If we get down to 700s,
there's got to be stops. There's got to be stops down here. There's got to be stops down here, and there you go.
Lock it down. All right, locked in 820 so far.
Nice.
Short 1 or 2. Oh,
just one. We didn't get filled on a second. There's 680s. Wish I could go to a smaller time frame.
Go to 100-point banger. Yep, 680s new.
100-point banger.
No. We just trade it.
No.
Yeah. New lows ES 50, 58.89 half. New lows ES. That was at 686.
Yeah, tech is breaking down.
Just getting,
All right. Stop down. We'll lock in $1,000.
Nice.
It's not bad on one contract, bro. Yeah.
Sure ain't. And new lows ES.
Keep on walking this down. All right, we're out. Plus 1,200. There's 685s.
Yeah, let's see if we can get back in. Okay, nice trade.
I'm gonna see if we can bid 83s.
Wait, what? Hold on. Well, okay.
What?
Why are you trading? Why are we getting? All right.
Range to range. Honestly, we might have already missed it. I was calling for 680s. We got to 84s, and it's rallying right now. So that's the bottom of the weekly range. So this could be a substantial bounce here. And if we can get a decent pullback to
I feel you, man. Casual 40-point pop right there. Nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna step in right now.
Would you buy sevens? Dolby? That looks like a spot.
On a pullback? Yeah, if we could.
If we could. What's in the box? Trump had a comment from him talking about UK's Prime Minister Starmer is a tough negotiator, and he's saying that UK and the United States have a special relationship. So Trump's going to do a sleepover.
Oh.
I was going to say, I'm going to ask what kind. Yeah.
Watch scary movies, popcorn, and play Twister.
House account up 1,700. Okay.
Robert, I'm not trying to pick the bottom. I've been talking about the weekly range for probably a full week.
He was trailing stop. That's all it was, right?
Yeah, you were mentioning 680s way before this too. So yeah,
I've been saying 800s and 680s for a week.
Yeah, that's a good level.
I do like it. Yeah, if we can start consolidating, then hell yeah. Let's see if we can get long. I mean, it sounds crazy, but we have a nice cushion to try out a very, very high reward play. Very, very high reward.
Sure. You can risk 500, still have 500 in profit, let the rest, nice little cushion.
Easily.
Last trade 720, 720. Back and long.
Let's see if it tries it. Let's see if it tries 680s again. 30 seconds, starting to consolidate a little bit. Maybe try to bid 706s. Sorry, what?
Where would your profit target be? Something like that.
If we got long, hold into close. 100%.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
We got it.
100%.
that
Because at this
rally.
point, the theory is V bounce, right? We did range to range on the weekly. Weekly is about as big of a level as you can get on a time frame, other than like a monthly. So it's not very often that we get to take advantage of a weekly
What if we
range.
have on the
And
other?
so to me, the play would be
What's this one?
like 30-point stop. See if you can
Let's
buy
put
680s and
15
see
on
if
this
the
one.
V
Sure.
bounce happens. If you lose, you
Order
lose.
filled.
If you win, it's going to be
Order
real good.
filled.
Like hundreds of points
Just like that.
for the V bounce.
Because of the $75
Because here's the thing, the same thing that happened
Let's see if
to
we do it
bulls
here with
at
$50.
22,050 is the exact same thing that can happen to bears at 20,680. If bears don't feel like they can push
49.
price any
Watch
further
this.
lower than 680, then
Who
they're all
got
going to
that
cover just like
instruction?
the bulls covered up at
Oh,
22,200. So it's the exact same psychology. It's just one's short, one's long.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about that huge upwick back in like December, right? That big upwick up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Order filled.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm brave
Order
enough to do it.
filled.
You see that?
Yeah.
It's tricky.
550.
Order filled.
Yes, we can do it right
Order
now,
filled.
Gabe. If we're ready, Eddie as well. We can do it right
Order
now.
filled.
We got 16 minutes till
Certainly.
MOC. We got quick announcements coming in from Eddie.
Order
Eddie,
filled.
do it.
All right.
Order
I got two
filled.
things to share with everybody.
50
Early
bucks,
access to
$50,
what, you
$50,
ask?
$50,
The dashboard, of
47,
course. Chat's been a buzz
70.
about the new TopStep dashboard. If you're a trader in the
So
United
that might be it.
States
That might
and
be
you have
it.
not joined the
This
wait
might
list,
be it
please
right
do.
here.
We're going to put that link here in the chat. Resets. Now extend your rebuild date. You can bank resets for later use now, a later date. Not to mention instant pay deductions. That's pretty cool. It's a whole new ball game here, folks. So sign up now
Order
through the link
filled.
that we put there. Thank you very much. There it is. Thank
We
you,
had it
TopStep.
down.
Again,
Momentum
once again, and I apologize. We all apologize here, TopStep. This is only for U.S. traders right now. We do have working in the process right now. We're going to be rolling it out for everybody. So be patient. Remember, good traders do have patience, and we will get that out to you. Also, we got time for jab. I want to let everybody know here that we've got some good stuff coming up here. If I can pull it up here. You know, a lot of people are seeing success and a lot of people are seeing failure. Remember, we got to learn from the failure and don't be afraid to post it. Let us know how you're trading. Got a great community here to help you out. And let's see what we got here. Let's see those TopStep traders who are making those jabs count. Early this morning, Mike Wazowski. Yes, not the same one. Yes, just past the 50K combine. Let's go chat. Pat or Patry Q. Jab, my first combine passed. I was very happy to see that and congratulated that trader. Bob L. just passed 100K combine. Now to dig head out of rear and trade XFA professionally as opposed to blowing another. Come on, live. Bob, I like your comment here. Jibo, yes, we know Jibo. Talking to Mike Patak, up 1250, locking it up. Thank you for creating TopStep. Well, Jibo, thank you for being here and sharing that. Timothy DeWayne passed my first trading from first TopStepX combine today. 1,000 between slow markets, and today's short at the open. Hell yeah! Also, place a nice $1,500 short. 21,221. Nice trade in practice. Good job, Timothy. Johnny D. Auto lockout hit 850. Profit on 2 combines. There's a smart trader not getting greedy, accepting what the market gives them, and locking it. Mr. Mind Blown. TopStep. Jab. Just passed my 50K combine. $200 a day average profit for 2 weeks. Consistency pays off. Mr. Mind Blown. Very smart trader there. Nate the Great. I'm up 380 on the XFA. I locked out my account. Green Day in the books, baby. Yolanda's back again here. I just passed my 5-copied TS 100K evaluations. It took Yolanda 7 days. And Mike, we're going to end with Mike Wazowski once more. He asked me, can I put this in jab? I said, sure. Mike Wazowski says,
Order
like
filled.
and subscribe, chat. There you go. Orders from Mike Wazowski. Like and subscribe. And that's all I got, Andre. Back to you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, like, subscribe, follow, Twitter, on the X, on the Instagram. Password. Here we go. Let's count flat right now. John London flat.
Big retracement. We'll see if we get sevens.
70% long.
rejecting off of support become resistant levels like 740s, 730s. Still lower highs, lower lows. I think it maybe has one more run down below
Eddie, you got it.
680s.
Yes, coming
Also
up here, we
cheap
got
short
Trump
search,
here. Off the wire, got a hot biscuit here for everybody right now. Looking at Trump will have a trade agreement for the UK and the US. Also talking about we will have a great trade agreement for the US and UK. Is what he mentioned just a little earlier here. But back to you, Andre.
Nice, Eddie. Dolby time looks like we're in a little bit of a 5-minute range. Obviously, it's pretty wide right now. What are you thinking here, Dolby time? Short, long? I know you're looking for the perhaps
short scalps.
Downside? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
John London, what are you seeing in the micros?
Order filled.
I'd like a short. If I get up to 760s, I think I'd probably
Order
take
filled.
a short. But I'm green on the day. I don't want to give too much back. You know, I got to trade with the trend though. I think if I do, although I don't mind the longer term. If I was up more, I don't hate Dolby's kind of end of the day
Order filled
strategy, but it's not up enough. I think.
Right, it's tricky right now. Ooh, what do we got after the bell? We got some earnings. We got Dell. We got HP, Monster.
Order filled.
The bell. Here we go into the 600.
Order filled.
See if the buyers want to defend it here. 20,700 last trade in the Nasdaq. Now 697s. Bit of a tug of war going on.
Do we bid 680s? For the
Long or
ultimate
short?
Chad trade. Long.
You think it's going to be a liquidity grab? It could. It could grab liquidity, pop up.
Are we essentially calling the bottom there, Dolby?
Order filled.
Try to do.
Yeah, I think so. It's the risk reward is so good. It's so good. I mean, we had a
order filled.
It's a static working order, though. Yes, see what you're saying.
Do one more.
Order filled.
Just on the other side of 84s.
Go.
I mean, listen, I'm on a 30-second chart, so I'm looking for this to push through and see if we can get any sort of consolidation at all. But that's like 3 minutes of this just kind of chilling out down below 680s. I don't want to take a short if it's just long candlesticking straight through, because that's dangerous. We just want to see it kind of get down to 680s and then barcode just a little bit.
600 lot downside ES 58.90 half 400 of the 600 filled, working 200 and filled. Downside in the ES. Anything else? Last trade 20,691. 690s now into the 80s.
Order filled.
688s.
Yeah, there's the test.
Okay. Oh, you didn't do it?
681s now into
80s. We touched 80s, low days, 678. So we got there somehow. Okay, let's see. Alternatively, we could try a buy stop at like 690. That might be an interesting way to play this too. Okay, there's 680s. So we officially have gone range to range so far.
The range.
Sure.
Range. Yeah.
If you get a
it's gonna be faster than I can hit the market order button though. That is for damn sure.
Yeah.
8 minutes till MOC.
Okay, so 680s would have been
2.5
points of risk so far if we did those.
Do you believe in your skill?
If 7 rejects it too. Yeah, so much red.
Stuff.
That's the question. Can you believe in your skill?
There's stops down there, yeah, for sure.
4,697.
Can you stick to your plan?
I want to see if they come back and retest 680s for the traders who want to break even too quickly.
Yeah, tapped off the 700s.
Oh,
this is awesome stuff right now.
We're going to 50.
So break even traders at the bottom are now stopped out. They got ran.
Try to hold these 680s. That's given the 670s a bit. Oh, we Oh, okay.
This can run. Okay.
Oh, watch this shit. 20,676. Low day 672.
I need a range. I need a range. This is not a range yet. And this is a weekly range break, so this could easily break 30 or 40 points and hop back in, and it's going to look like a millimeter on the chart off a weekly. So it does take a little bit of
Order filled.
Okay, there's
Lows
670s.
666.
Still no consolidation.
Oh man, the buyer's gonna try to hold this up. What do we got here?
Order filled.
Really on the tilt. 676. Buyers are seeing the same level.
Order filled.
Is on the weekly.
5 short for
Sellers are saying, let's see if you got more where that came. Remember, in the ES 5940 roadblock on that initial sell off in the morning, about 4,500.
liquidity.
I just stopped.
I mean, we've pretty much run every single weekly low going all the way back to middle of November.
All back.
Every single one of them. Anything lower than this, we're going like, let's see, maybe 390s is like the next stop.
Man, oh
man. Yeah.
What was that price Jack was saying? Was it
20,500? I'm bidding 680 50s. Stop would be below 666.
So you're long.
We're not long yet.
Okay.
Bidding.
Oh, you're throwing a bid out there. Gotcha. I
want to see.
I think it's tight risk.
Sure. Put attention.
Okay, we're risking 290 on this.
I'm not going to play around.
And Q 680.
Oh no, I got
Yep.
Come on.
So we're playing a 30. Our entry's off a 30-second sharp, but we're playing a weekly range.
Here we go. I am. I cannot answer that question right now. I got to watch these markets. Stay locked in. Remind me later. Yes, but we can get to that in a bit here.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're at this closing bell.
Get above 700s. That'd be awesome.
Boom, boom.
Yeah,
So
700 is the level I see too.
74 is holding it.
Milestone level.
Order filled.
Now,
It's 58.
Order
89,
filled.
88 in the ES.
Three.
Coming for our stop. That's okay.
This should be done with five contracts.
If you don't touch our stop,
Anything to the downside. Crypto Bros is Bitcoin getting smoked as well.
699.
Stop run a low.
Is it still breaking?
It's trying.
Sounds like it.
It's trying.
Gotta hold.
Order filled. Order filled.
Out.
New lows.
That's fine.
20,664. 660s now trade. S&Ps not quite making new lows. 58.86.
A little bit. Yeah.
Let's see if we can consolidate again on a 30-second.
A lot more room. A lot more room, Dakota, to limit down.
Oh, look at that retracement.
Might have gotten stopped by a tick or two on that one. What did we get stopped out at? 6-6.
Still momentum.
6-4. 6-4-9.
Yeah, Dakota. Good morning, sunshine.
New lows.
New lows again.
Order filled.
2005.
Order filled.
New lows.
We have MOC in 4 minutes. Okay.
Yup, new lows ES.
We got to start looking even further left now. This range might not hold.
Yeah, this is
58.85. New lows. Dow holding up.
Totally worth it though.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it confirmed your risk too. The breakdown, it broke down
totally
quick
fine.
once it hit that level. Yeah,
totally fine.
Nothing on the tilt. We just broke low of January 13th. Okay.
There's still a chance this can rally. Oh, super cheap trade relative to the reward. I would take it every single time. Every single time.
Sure.
So this is
even if it only works 50%, like it's still going to make you money. It's plus EV.
That type of setup, if it works like 5% of the time, 10% of the time, risking $300 to make 300 points on a V bounce in Nasdaq.
So we're going to add two. What?
Sure.
659.
I like how you think, Mr. London.
Order filled.
We got London.
Yeah, it makes sense. Poker terms.
Fast.
You're out.
Yeah. Expected value.
Yeah.
Still interested in longs if we can consolidate.
Watch this here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is
this range can hold. This weekly range can hold up.
Car orders, everything under.
Yeah, leading into inflation tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see what happens in early morning, what the market does with all that stuff.
We got PCE tomorrow.
Yeah, it's at 8:30 Eastern time. So
7:30 Central.
I think it's I'm in Central Time too. I'm from Texas, Louisiana.
What the hell are you talking about East Time for? You screwing everybody up.
It's just market time. I always go Eastern.
Practice. Practice. This
You're
is
lucky we love you.
because I practice.
Slow in.
Practice real
Love you guys
time
too.
Catch, hey, Coach J in the chat. Check him out at the buzzer. Oh man, here we go.
Minute 30.
Wild. Minute 30 indeed. 20,670. 20-point bounce off the lows. S&P is about
at 649 and 3/4. Are you serious? You got to be kidding me.
Wait, you got stopped where?
Hold on. Hold your horses, NASDAQ. Where did we get stopped on that one? No, 664. That's what I thought.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Damn. That's fine.
Hey, Hogue, you got a Delta update as we go into MOC?
I wonder.
As we saw, minus 9,500. Minus 9,500 in the ES, minus 3,000 in the NQ.
I did not ask for this.
Yeah, the bounce was on point too. Dolby, there it is.
I don't think this bounce is over. I think it's still playable too. Here. Okay, let's see if we can rebid 666 or 667. I'll pull back. Very close, but this is like kind of the price action we were looking for. I think the stop was maybe just a little bit too tight. You know, it ran by about 10, like maybe 20, 30 points further than we needed it to. That's kind of the tricky thing, though, about like playing a really, really big time frame level is that the runs for it will be much larger than your stop on an intraday, like sort of day trade level. So you kind of have to like really open it up, accept all the risk.
Here we go. Buckle up. MOC incoming.
10 seconds here.
Okay, I'll flatten this. I don't want to get dinged on it.
Practice. Go to practice.
All right, here we go. We got some news from the president coming up here. What are we going to do? Here it is. All right. S&P 617 million sell side. NASDAQ 528 million sell side. Dow 312 million sell side. Mag 7 540 sell side complete. No buys right now. Remember, these numbers do fluctuate, and I'll be watching. Thank you, Andre.
They didn't hammer it on that initial MOC unless that thing grows. Unless that MOC grows more negative, it might be long here. They flipped that thing long. They're going to squeeze the hell out of these shorts.
Yeah, we're going to try to get long again.
They're going to squeeze the hell out of those shorts if they flip that MOC long. Buy side, I should say.
We're creeping. Let's watch 700s if we get over that.
Eddie, keep us posted on that MOC.
I'm watching this, yeah.
600.
We did not break in that initial MOC.
That was not big. That was not a big MOC.
Wasn't necessarily, yes, and it wasn't a big move off the initial. If they, hey Eddie, let's know if they keep pairing this thing back. Start flipping it towards the buy side. Flip it long and watch it go. Yeah, that's right, KT.
Oh my God. Come on.
We're going to turn this thing buy side, aren't they?
Still heavy sell.
Okay, is it growing?
It's not moving there right now. It's
okay.
The only thing that is giving way is the Mag 7. We're getting some buys coming in here right now.
I knew it. Yeah,
370 S&Ps, 420. Hey, NASDAQ sell side.
Yep, we're flipping it long.
Shit.
Yeah, there we go.
What about YM? What do you got? What do you got on YM, Eddie?
I don't. Oh, the Dow right now, 226 million sell side.
Yeah,
it's about 300 when it opened up. Sell side.
They're flipping this thing long.
I got to get long somehow.
Yeah, negative delta is 70% long in 74% long ES, 71% long NASDAQ. We got 8 minutes left in power hour.
Yeah, we're tapped 700.
Try to bid. I have a resting order at 655 for a long, just to see if it tries to run stops one more time.
Yeah, taps it.
Oh man, long. I would even take a long right here, right now.
A little too much variance for me, I think, heading into the close, but I'm a winner.
Oh, sure.
this stuff.
It's not up,
I'm a huge wimp. I trade micros, you know.
It's all good.
No, we're moving back to where we opened here.
Back to sell?
NASDAQ, yeah. NASDAQ 576 sell side.
When are you gonna come down?
76, all right.
We were 500. It's even deeper. 633 right now. Sell side.
NASDAQ or S&Ps or SPOOs?
NASDAQ. That's in the millions.
600. Yeah, okay. Wait a shot there. You got to flip this thing buy side.
Starting to tighten up on the 30-second.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Order filled.
20,685 last trade NASDAQ. Low a day 650. So about 40 points off the lows right now. Less connected to the news. Nothing comes to mind. Maybe hogs. Maybe the hoop. That's a hoop question.
No, we're still hanging around where we opened up.
Yeah.
Yep. 700 is my level. That's kind of like my neutral level. If we can get over that, I'm more optimistic. But under that,
yeah, this MOC was our chance there. 72% long in the ES. We'll know in about 60 seconds.
Order filled.
Still bidding 655s.
At this rate, we might hit that too.
Good.
Oh, the fill order. See that?
Look at us. We have a cushion. This day is going to be green no matter what.
Yeah, those are the best days. Best trades.
Just a reminder here, tomorrow, I believe, 10 a.m. Central, Trump's going to meet with Zelensky.
Thank you, Eddie.
Is he really? More volatility. Hopefully he...
Delta growing.
Good things.
Minus 12,000 ES minus 6,800. Wow, just got hammered. New lows. MOC must have been.
All right, we got.
Wow.
They crushed it.
S&P 2 billion. 187 sell side. Cleaned it out. S&P 2 billion 985 million sell side. Once again here, NASDAQ 2 billion.
Holy shit.
Damn it.
Sell side. That got slammed. All four of these at once.
Look at this.
Live.
We're going to get stopped.
Why?
We're still in it.
Just do it here.
Yeah, we're out. Minus 5 on that. So plus 371 all day. We're going to lock it up though.
Abe.
Gotta believe in yourself.
It's still good.
In these.
Yeah, we're locked out.
Green is good.
Still with
476 sell side.
Any day of the week.
NASDAQ.
New lows. New lows.
Incredibly resilient. And these bears are not playing around.
3,627 last trade.
Wonder if they're getting baked into inflation too. I don't know.
They had faked it on that. MOC just absolutely.
That.
Yeah, here we go. I know, Mo. We can do some hashtag power hour if we want. Then we can watch the fireworks in the close if you guys are ready back there. New lows.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Let's knock it out real fast. We got some great content today. Thank you all for sharing. First up, we have Dr. Phibb. He caught the fact that Deanna and JD pulled up his VIP today on the show during the Lunchbox trading session. So shout out to all of our VIP traders. We got YOLO Baggins. Jab, 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 right? Locked it up. Done for the day, up 500. Trading like it was my XFA, and I'll be right back in there shortly. So this is a done, but great job there, YOLO.
We're going to 600.
Next up, we got Grouch. How many days have you been green this month? 23-day heater in this XFA. For a whopping monthly P&L of a little over 16 Gs. So shout out to you there, Grouch. We got Brent. Hit DLL yesterday. Made it back and then some today. Probably will be over the 50% consistency, but I'm going to keep on jabbing.
I gave
good job there, Brent.
from 1,000.
Yep.
And it's all
We got
right.
Costa Nostra. New rally hat unlocked.
Ooh,
Top step. Merch.
Hey, very cool.
5K club next.
Wait, how many?
Nice.
Locking in for the data and the open. Let's have a day, shall we? Hope your day went well. There at Cosa Nostra. And then we have we got YSL. Shout out
There we go.
to Young Thug. Another payout secured. Just had my first 5K month paying himself or herself $710. So great job there, YSL. And that's what I got for you guys. Back to you.
Order filled.
Nice. Thank you.
Clear.
All right, buckle up. We got 2 minutes going into this close. Here we go. New lows. Heavy sell side on that MOC.
Completely.
I take anyone's guess. Got some earnings after the bell. We got PCE tomorrow.
I love it.
What a day.
Yeah, man, crazy. The
The
600 stop it too.
Dude, last week was 22,200. 1,600 points. All right, here we go.
Crazy.
I was saying 20,600. Man, oh man, what a day. Great job. Oh, guys, hope you truly enjoyed the Jim Dalton segment. We'll probably isolate that, cut it up, and put it up on the YouTube. Yeah, we got 90 seconds. Let's do this again. We got at the buzzer. We got John London in the house right now. Nice trading there. House account is house account's going to lock in. What are we up? 1,000 today? Take it.
Up 900. Like still in really good shape. So it's kind of why. I mean, we had a really nice cushion just for today. So I think it's okay to take some riskier trades, especially if you have a cushion, because it's all about risk reward, and that's really what we're after as traders. Is if we can get excited about identifying opportunities that could really be profitable, that's what we should be excited to take for those trades. But we shouldn't be scared to take high reward, low probability trades. It's just it's our job.
Right. No, I agree. That's the time to do it.
40 seconds into the bell.
Oh my.
Are we going to close on the lows? I've been seeing this a lot lately.
We probably are, yeah.
Get ready for the open tomorrow. It was just look out below. Here we go. 20,600. New lows coming in the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at this ES. 58.74. We closed. I put in 20,800 above low. Hello, that was terrible. All right, new lows coming. Terrible. Are they going to try to hold up these 600s? Giddy up. We got 10 seconds, man. Oh, man.
Giddy up.
Now
Georgia pros.
Back in the 600s, 610s. Just market orders going crazy right now. I don't even know if it's going to close on.
Incredible day.
Anyways, there's your bell. Holy
incredible day.
What a day. What a day.
There it is. There it is. A little rusty.
600, a 700 point range, 800 point range in the NASDAQ today. Take a look at the ES. A cool. I can't even do math right now. 140 point range in the ES. Absolutely insane. No limit down. Long way to go from there. Anyways, John London, thank you so much for joining us. We hope everyone enjoyed the Jim Dalton. Also, shout out to Ben Street for doing the Q&A with MP, and to the chat for asking some very, very thoughtful questions. You guys get it around here. We're trying to do the best. We're trying to keep pushing this thing. Shout out to all the bell to bellers. None of this is possible. Anyways, enjoy this amazing week to come. Anyways, my main man, Eddie Horn, take us out of here.
Oh, Andre, thank you, sir. How did everybody do today? Did you have a good time today? Did you learn something? Even if it was only one thing, you're on the right path. Remember, baby steps in this business. You're not going to be taking leaps and bounds and seeing success. And if you do, it's going to be limited. And you're going to be going, wow, I need to go back and rethink. But anyway, talking about rethinking, I want to invite you to tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7:20. We're going to be here early, right? We open up here at 7:20 every weekday morning for opening call, and we got some meat on the bone. We got a big breakfast buffet tomorrow, and I want to make sure that you know about it. 7:30, we got the core PCE, we got the core price index for month over month, year over year. We do have PC price index for January, good trade balance. Hopefully it'll be a good trade balance. And personal spending. Wait, I'm not done yet. We also do have real personal consumption, retail inventories, wholesale inventories, and that's only at 7:30. Okay, so I'm going to be scrolling down here, looking at the next important number here we've got coming out about 8:45, but we do got a Dallas Fed PCE at 8 o'clock, 8:45.
Order filled.
PMI now. I think last time we had that last week, really didn't do too much, but you never know with this number. This is a crazy number. Also, Atlanta Fed GDP, that's going to be at 9:30. And scrolling down here at 12 o'clock high noon. Yes,
Order filled.
The infamous well loved, well liked Baker Hughes rig count. We will definitely let you know how many rigs are rigged. Okay. Let's take a look and see what we got here tomorrow. Gosh, it's the end of the month. Is that right? The 28th already? We done? Well, we got Coach Dakota and Mohammed going to be with us here for Fast Markets. Peter Tuckman at live from the New York Stock Exchange. And we also got Ty going to be joining Dolby and Andre. Yes, that dynamic duo for Trade with Top Step. Lunchbox Trading. Well, we got a lot. Check this out. Lunchbox Trading. It's going to be Coach Takeover. It's the Roundtable. We've got Nick for a Tick. We got Coach Vince. We got Mick. We got Nick for a Tick. We got Coach Vince. And they're going to be talking about their VIP updates. Coming in for Top Quiz. Don't forget, yes, we've got Top Quiz. Anne Marie's going to be joining me. And I'm wondering how the questions are. I'm not going to give you any clues, any hints, but those questions are done. But you'll have fun. They'll be fun questions. And don't worry, don't lose any sleep over it. I'll give you easy questions tomorrow. Also, Back to the Futures. We got Coach Hoop. Anne Marie's going to be joining Back to the Futures. And Power Hour, don't forget, we got a reversal challenge. Defending champion Deanna, Anne Marie, Dolby, and Andre will be there. And that's what we're going to be doing. All right, that is it so far. But don't forget,
Order
3:15
filled.
coming around the corner here right now. We do have At the Buzzer with Coach Jay and Coach Paul. Hoops going to be doing fundamentals and technicals over in our Discord channel. Also, Coach Ray and
Order
Coach Vince,
filled.
6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Order filled.
Coach, I think that is it for this, but don't forget here.
Order filled.
We got Coach Dakota going to be doing slow markets here at 7:30. And a lot of people have been talking about, hey, that's been a great segment. And they've been putting up some good money here, good trades, winning trades with Coach Dakota. So if you haven't, check it out. That's going to be right back here, 7:30. So keep that in mind. But anyway, it is your time, folks. Go relax, go re-energize, get yourself ready for tomorrow, and orders from headquarters. Stay safe, stay healthy, spread love. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Until we meet again, I'm Eddie Horn, and this has been Top Step TV. Take care. Ciao.
Go for broke here and go for the 60.
Order filled.
Okay. So, 4 had to do that crazy stuff. But check it out. 2, 4, 4. Oh, crap. So this is 108, 113. Well, this is practicing, man. You have to do this. You have to. It is imperative that you learn. You see how I managed to get back to just 334. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you are looking from. Watch this video. Watch it. Give me a like. Give me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Where are you in your trading? Are you with Top Step or FTMO? Bullanox, Earn to Trade. Who you trading with? How you like them? I like Top Step.